Enti ene ye bedwendwene ho that dia na ama ye focus on the composite number say hey nipa 32,000 nipa 32,000 ekosuro when say the rate of a year recoveries no kran every 75% adru say 89% adana yen sese sa empenfo beba na yetimi adwendwene ho osi on governance founder and general overseer Pere Chapel Bishop Ajinasari reveals threat of attacks on his life by some politicians. And they was also for Penny Ajinasari was in Nipa Bikura Peno so we are asking, is this a light threat to type a bishop and Yakana no Buaswana and Hunsam Ebeba? Politics. Also ongoing registration exercise for new voters register and its matters are rising. EC extends exercise in phase 5. Yeguswa register. Register with you. Now politics. Also road to election 2020. John Dramani Mahama to officially Ado Jenana Opoku Ajimai for election 2020. And you may non see a pemu pra na just John Dramani Mahama or Kwakwa Dana die ama Oba Penny Jenana Opoku Ajimai. Ni running mate na obia so at me first time Oba no Oba beka safa running mate instance near tie. Na mpanifo beba dem wa say honorable member of parliament for Abra Asebu Kwamankase Ora Elvis Morris Donko Obeba dem wa na yadwendwene ho saso na delay them of the NDC one so obeba ha na once again you from ADAKABRI Mahmudu Osioma na yetimi ahwe na yehunu eho ano na sade nanahima na walking entientie nanahima ensama nanahima wode bra ye wie
me mochi o fiera yeson
machi o fiera Efiera mechia wonye so.
Hey, ewra, enforce ma msu. What? E ba force search me. Mo yem no.
Won so pepe.
Hey, oh, wa fi, we die me pese oni fiera bekon. Efiera we die ye kwa sore abo. Ewra de. Mo kwa sore. Ye pompa ye. Ewra de kasoro ho a. What? E be se wo ba hwa wa kraba kumpo wunya. Onipa da sene timi koto this way chocolate drink. No ne yire ne mma edi nsuo hie twabia nom anopa. No wi a wasade bia hye fridge mu. Wo mako school pon a wasan ba be yi anom. Enu mpo da sene nka ne twaso mu pa ende ye rekore. Ne fie wura beti ha. Anopa dio, ewia dio, enumre dia mo no makoda o. Mo mame. Na mu wi a ma sora akotra so ndem se ye kosum ya.
Mese na dia ya late nso me yanke kabinchi efiera ya wi a yakosere bo fate ke efiera wuti fia se light bi no water bi ba wuntua bi wo boa se sika na fa koto this way chocolate drink na ba nom
ta hwe me catch you play na play fa say this way chocolate drink no metumi atobi pa na so na me so mo ahwe wate e de me hia ne nsuohie na nsuohie so me ntoi se me bufu a betumi ato bag mu a wate yeah fiera we nko ade ma abunfu e koto me
efiera fi de ya bro ma abunfu bi
munyam sumponie na mo ba ya trimodefo
FDA anhwe se adwede nkratoe mo agye atum se eye
Yamenu ejaba boni di adwo ama wubi eti yamenu afa hin na mahwie fufuo ti ase dada menya wofo yi papa so ba fie ni anwie fufuo ya asamo aba na so oben wadi fufuo edi mpreni ne mpresa da ko beye de ni ahwie fufuo a akode wonwane
adwo mo adwuma se me ne fie adwuma di mini fufuo kakra ba o madie no ene wato metwa mada pasa aso wo kan na matire nyira
wati ate na make am meboa
ebe de odi komum na sese ade obra to otwa fufuo ai wo wodwo mo pam na wo ma asiu na wotimu aba na wo sadade na wo timfra kwade ne nyina tu atwa make say ya need food sadaroma wo bia mani ye pa ya wa ya mbode fufuo ne mankani fufuo a wa ne powder wo de gu da kama ya yefra no need fufuo a
eni anu bi na masori ba until izi kama me di ye yo
sese bia
mama hwe oh e bia need fufuo eye kama say bode fufuo ne mankani fufuo papa bi na wo ka say twan eposim na ede na me so ka so ento simanu mpenu wa wie wo hie wo papa bi aguso
be chese de ama mani kura agisa need fufuo a ho ama ko to bi kura ba ne say se de Ghana for sipom fufuo no enu an wo ye nu enti se wo hwa fufuo won pam wodrom ne we nu a wo ho susuna bia wom wo nso de bode ne mankani fufuo papa bi
ejanie eni afi na fufuo na afi na wo bedi pa ne se de wo bedi ne se ne wo fa mogyaduro ana pa wia ne anadwo a wo koda
need fufuo supermarket bia mu need fufuo e wo fi a eni gye nko a
FDA anhwe se adwede nkratoe mo agye atum se eye
NIT 100.9 FM so eni na ene eye adwoada na kutansa so me na ewomi ne da etoso aduonu enson afi empino aduonu na se de di kan no yɛbɛkɔ ɛyɛ Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology na political science lecturer wɔ hɔnom ɛyɛ Dr. Amache Boating na yɛn na akɔdi nkɔmmɔ kakra ɛfa strategy bɛn ɛna John Dramani Mahama all rolling up sɛ ɔbɔ ne hwan ne running mate dini yɛma Sami Gyamfi na bɛka ho asɛm ɛsɛ yɛ downplay the whole thing afei running mate no so no or the press release no the buy yes I accept letter short one na ma accept on kan bibia na akrab won crofo to bono afei so yen san konkotena bia bi mpampa so na afei so no yen konkot de na dinche enti what is happening esen na isiko Dr. Amachi Boaten mu aha
Yenya
doc na humpo tisan wie
radio Kristo adaro ma me hoye
yo na John Dramani Mahama na no wote se wayi Jane na Opoku Ajiman ni Sam se ono enemra me running mate na se no fin ade no kra ya downplay no Sami Gyamfi National Communications Officer ene ma obegina dwa pampa so ebebe kan yes a won ya yi no afi obesu aka na no atum tene ba bi edwene no ho ene ode short test statement ba ade no kra na emanije masom se meye adwuma no Joma ama no so aka na no atum nka bibia na so ate ho kakra afi wo so wo kwa akogina bama no so na watimi abeda Jane na Opoku Ajiman edi. Do you see any discernible strategy be John Dramani Mahama any NDC one more adopt to ana
ADAKABRI mi da se na mikia watifo amanyosam de anamo a amanyuku titu bia betu bia no ya na ntiase bi sa strategy bi ewo eye mre bia mre dodo no ano se de ka se do I see mre dodo no ano omo ana ya na omunim de omo ye omu study terrain no ansana nipa bia ombe yinu no omo yinu bemo obao nipa property amanyoku bia yinu say no ya na e follow within some special understanding bia omu gidi say as part of their strategies a bit me aboa na omu di adin kunim it definitely everything about President Mahama's running mate has been strategic in the context of NDC politics. Nipa be bribe and omo bobo dino initially cry no Prof. Opoku Ajiman din ama kase ama me mantini din wo mu fitiase no din be bribe de da ho a chere ni din APA but seriously personally I didn't expect someone nombe titru ni say or sign a free central region no maybe tiase mu no politics in developing country ethnicity edia akotini maybe tiase nipa ni bigiri sentisa fine that's woman tiase no to me it does count nti eventually the DPA no like I say an interesting a big card as an end in itself and I call it the ethnic card President Mahama the etuga now this say and yet just President Mahama when you no na fi wasan na ma party no the party no na ebe manage bibia nti say omoma the party's communication director Eddie Dini beto abonte no to me there's nothing wrong with it it decided to make it formal to involve the party as much as possible in this whole issue of the package President Mahama the running mate being presented to the people of Ghana. In President Mahama that day, but somehow, in fact, personally, I expected some special repackaging of President Mahama. I don't know whether there was 1 year in a man who but whatever it is, the party is interested in playing a very significant role. Until the party's national officer, or in charge of communication, it was Anna Monwa. Inchasia Minya no. It's making it an all-inclusive sort of affair. For no take it center stage all the time. I mean, people will talk about it. He's dominating his simply all over the place and stuff like that. So I think it's fair, and to me it's proper that he allows the party's communication boss to play a crucial role. ADAKABRI, to me, maintaining the silence, a positive to me. The way Europe, during that time, there was no need for her to come out with anything. Nivro had to support President Mahama as much as possible, or better related to issues that critically, at the end of the day, Betimina knew to President Mahama's benefit. And I think the time or they making such statement is very significant. Indeed, that laid back approach, and then waiting till today, and we are told that a fain or more, to me, it should be part of the strategy. And euphoria Nina died down. And I think she has had the opportunity to put herself together, and in going about what is going to take place today, Mintias Yanise, and you know, a party Nigerian, prepare whatever information or the Ebetuga. What I know with presidential candidates all over the world, and even sitting presidents, especially in established democracies, they prepare them. Deliver before a team of experts. No more ashe atoto to Niema womb. Or my sure say yes, information now they call out to me okay. And sana or more Adi or Munsama Babetuga. I expect to be bisa akoso. Said the bear policy issues be a bit Pimabano. SSF now on the Babetuga no. It should be seen to be on top of that particular issue. It should come naturally, clearly from her. Maybe as a Kobasa will be deliver, will be messenger. Now, one said that and this to put it out, especially when you are asked to deliver the message as if it is your own. There could be issues. I would say Unpakrono who would easily give himself or herself away. But as I said, or only any information behind or the APA. Indeed, to me, these are some of the things that Mijidi captured within Kutahua and this in Yebedino and then.
Indeed, Dr. Amachiwati, ma yehwe se ebra John Dramani Mahama Professor Jena Nopuku Ajimai na ono so or did that short test statement by yes was sumo no kana no tum to say euphoria as you put it and now see that no and no man there was yet to a man no nyina and also say yato e de amane nana and measurement no so what they call percentage terms are we say in terms of percentage do saying and yato e de amane no
my monitoring na bakaka mti na no na emudu do no anu frivolous me kaka mti na emudu do no anu frivolous me gidi say some crucial issues be and it has to do with ADAKABRI politics essentially is about influence, and coincidentally one political scientist definition of politics, Robert Dahl. Politics is essentially about influence. I think the scrutiny who the extent to which amount for a share how when she was a minister of state, she affected policies about no matter what. Policies come from the executive, come from the cabinet. But you do your minister or maybe also with me affect the policy, because at the end of the day, you are the chief implementer or the chief supervisor of the implementation of that particular policy. You are going to be attached to it. And then you'll be taking on, as he said, one kasa and a policy. Crucially, critically, in established democracies, there will be a minister, not policy be now, or you're strongly not in agreement with the a bit lead to resignation crowd because what me near nimu a fat issue be on one I mean it will not really address core issues and serve the public good. The area matters related to policy by Emra or Minister of Education. Manti bebree sir amount for scrutiny no echo bebree manti. Many of the things that buy in not just a petty, be unnecessarily personal, and of course through that many people got exposed and once again, make us a more with politics of development in
What's it the as you put it, now frivolous? Frivolous to the extent that could it also be a strategy of opposing parties to say, yes, you can enter frivolous one, no, and maneno. Now, really, no, when she's at the helm, now that of substance, no, yet me diaba, who be bisaswana.
Especially given the fact that it be a direct verbal assault, incriminating or more accuse anamono, idea would be say or Dombeko Kotra, definitely it would have been seen as having fallen foul of the law. Wouldn't mean say a part of your strategy. You just can't.
That verbal assault, no. Who believe we say as you put it say euphoria another no just ken kwa hwini akire say
oh definitely Ghanaians I think that the scrutiny should go beyond a political party interest. I think say Ghana for and you know the bottom line to me is Team Ben and edit development a bit to me Abba Ghana, you know, then another team President Mohammed's team. Team Bay. To me, that is the bottom line. The a key component of the team. No? Ghanaians should be interested in that. And Ghanaians definitely are looking forward to what she really personally represents. This goes beyond any other thing. Where she's coming from, what she has done before. At the end of the day, what is in her? What is in her? How is it going to be able to effectively influence policies if you like, the public good of this country? So definitely people are interested in her.
I just say Dr. Machibuati Jena na opoku ajman baby mienu ubetimi ahwe na na se baby mienu ne fa ubetimi de ahwe pa ne tenua at the University of Cape Coast as Vice Chancellor. Dear no ekuta that positive differential. Ape so no obeye Education Minister. And so no dear no so clear demonstrable track. Ubetimi de aye nyina so aka say giving the opportunity no ubetimi a complementing. Na fe so no wahwe how we raise ne ma and so no ne life as it is being responsible mother. And also said they was no keeping a be a new kunu behind. Said they was organizing of the 2.5 no where would you put your finger on?
Yeah, I'll put all of them together and see how all of them have shaped her. Ama waye obia edne oni bedi nkutahono. I want to listen to her and then move on. Definitely. Call the university community more. He didn't just end up as the vice chancellor, but rising through the ranks. And you know, more information about leadership skills. But then there's one crucial thing. If you should go to the University of Cape Coast and come out with, obviously, she's human. She definitely has the negatives, the low points. And then you put the two together. To me, the essence is how have those things shaped her? So who is she today? How is she going to help advance the quality of life at Ghana for to me, these are the crucial things. Only the personal life as a mother, as a wife, very significant because crucially and interestingly, in the Bible, the Christian church's holy book, the Holy Bible, the Apostle Paul was, an intellectual by all standards. And it goes beyond Ubia all related to spiritual things. Who read some of Paul's work, you see Plato in there. So definitely Paul did read a lot. And Paul's criteria, they measure leadership. Or the Ubia na busuan so ye. And only one of the core a year the ma woman. Obi what to ne nneɛma yie wɔ ne fie so ɔyɛ bɛrima ne yere ne ne ma ɔyɛ ɔbaa ne kunu ne ne ma nti ɛyɛ very significant indicator, but these do not necessarily make one a leader per se at a higher level, at the level of the state. It do not necessarily. It doesn't mean she hasn't got the potential, and then you want to watch her again. Maybe it's because of these things in T. And the short things as a minister of education, to me, are quite significant. But over there, Ghanaian politics, we take the case of Mr. Martin Amidu serving Ghana under President Mills, and then behaving the way he did, and then he was, getting taken out. Analysis near the breed. If there was something good, or there's still something good in him, Ghana, could he have gone about the whole thing from a different angle so as to get opportunity to serve the people of Ghana? So this could be someone's strategy. So as an education minister, she might have, watched, observed, moved to influence certain things her own way, and people tell us that women are effective in influencing, issues. Very, very effective. Much more than men. People say that. So at the end of the day, we want to see her that stage, If it's Amre Yukoya OBP, then whether she likes it or not, she can't keep quiet. From time to time, she's going to be called upon to respond to issues. You see, at times it becomes interesting, the argument about whether one is to make a comparison between her and any other person. I don't think so. But whatever anybody says, you can't close your eyes to the way Dr. Bawumia has affected the political landscape, especially as a running mate. And significantly coming also from academia as well as industry. But changing dynamics, who advised him to do what he did? That is in the case of Dr. Bawumia. In a way, you don't expect Professor Poku Ajiman to behave like Dr. Bawumia. No two people are the same. But how is he going to be able to affect the system? How is he going to be able to affect the crucial people whose vote always turn the scale? Because MPP and NDC, they have got their core support base. The kingmakers are really there. And personally, without necessarily making reference from any research, outcome, I like to believe and maybe make this thing that the middle class does that segment of Ghanaian electorates now almost a fluid. now we vote on issue. Now from time to time, they vote the MPP into office and then vote the MPP out of office. And this the real battleground. And this is an area, depending on how she comes out with whatever it is that she's going to come out with, not just today, but in the days ahead of us. This is the area, the real battlefield that with me affected among for
yes. Enti yenhwe ansa na obekọ no Dr. Amachi Boateng say Ghanaian political establishment na ese ya na womo act out a movie on Ghanaians and na say ya na omo hihye enoma bi o smoke filled boardroom bi na ye de aba na say ahead of 2012 na ayi organize a debate na ye kokofa moderators mienu na John Mahama no agina mu bi na na de Dankwa Akufo Addo gina mu bi afi moderators mienu no Kwadwo Opon Enkonoma na wono oye one of the moderators na Opoku Agyeman one of the moderators afi yenkwankwate a na Kwadwo Opon Enkonoma eko eye MPP na so eko NDC afi na kura de yasan elevate no Kwadwo eye minister na ya elevate na so running mate eye ade bi omo hyehyɛ ye chess board bi ene ye hyehyɛ ya na
ADAKABRI, neutrality in politics an interesting concept, although podcast scientists from time to time come up with it, not necessarily with members of the general public. Actually, they apply the Electoral Commission in the way they go about their work. Political scientists argue that as one of the core, values as a guide woman, politically neutral. But what I'm saying and giving the it is an interesting concept. It is hardly possible for us to achieve from such state. But let's go back to that day. Organize. Let's talk to IEA. What happened? And then UIEA go in for two people. Over here, as far as I'm concerned, NPP involved, NDC involved, IEA. What happened that day? And ADAKABRI, someone about me, and obviously you are my preference. And if that day, say the choir me fast some Ghana for no, Obia who say me favor any of the candidates, that is it. But if at the end of the day, today, Madani Kwadwo Opon Nkrumah, Nami Education Minister, ADAKABRI, it is normal. We are all political demons.
And at least we share neutrality no cry there. Obi to say Kwadwo Opon Nkrumah there. At the end of the debate, there was that small tiff where hands were pointing at the current president, say, as a nani anyi bibi ho, Emma Kwadwo, na just one so as a hind pointing be a bebem. I recall at the time, now share reaction now. You would not believe, say, Kwadwo would be an MPP person.
So definitely, there was nothing to tell. And then you could Professor Enana Jinopuku Agyeman, there was nothing to tell in absolute terms. I've heard some people say the Ayarikov issue could have been controlled. I won't blame anybody for Ayarikov coughing excessively that day. But to me, that day, Mr. Make program no high BC every year. It never once occurred to me. If you say ACR, normally you would discern it. It comes naturally to you. I did not want to pick any signal that any of them was not himself, was not herself. They gave up their best that day, and I think what we witnessed is what we witnessed. But then, doesn't even mean that they all had their minds made up about active participation in politics. Maybe no. There could have been other development afterwards. ADAKABRI, and or more. To me, that is how it is. The way I look at it, some people are not hardcore members of any political tradition in Ghana. Some people are not. Over the years, Dr. Obeda Samoa, were move, within some of the political tradition. Some people are not hardcore members. Maybe they work with certain principles which make it possible for them to be able to serve Ghana under an NDC government and at the same time to be able to serve Ghana under an MPP government. I think some people are like that. Indeed, a lot of things happen and eventually some people find themselves in relevant political parties.
Right. Finally, Dr. Amachi Boating. Ubebukra bebusa say much ado about war. Say Jena no Bugajman. Ya no babaye because the Ghanaian constitution etimi actually adwuma potea e was a vice president woye. And say adwuma na e was woye no. Enya adwuma akire so ase uhia special person bi obabaye essentially keeping watch over the state security and vice president the constitution asha that the amano. The say adwuma ya constitution the ama vice president being chairperson of various security agencies, one more country. Now, essentially, a political pundit would say, vice president is equipped with the powers to oversee the security of the state. I the one where be, it just a ubet me a case, Jane, ubet me a and I went to me.
ADAKABRI's argument to me a lame, a very weak. Terribly weak. You see, the mere fact that formally, constitution said that Emma Juma Din Biano and the office of the vice president on the Namhosa Alpha. Obi Obey vice president was Ghana Piano. The only Pakro was substance. It was as an individual. Desirable. They make me push Ghana's developmental agenda forward. On the quiet, even if the person decides not to speak, on the quiet, whoever is the president will feel good. Say, I'm working with ADAKABRI. I'm working with Amachi. The pieces of advice, analysis of issues, why you capture the camera, or there are two president tables, so from time to time, you will work like a loom. And all those arguments are funny. Now look at what something that is developing in Ghana. That economic management team, is that the name?
Constitution soon can say I was a vice president or chair economic management team.
Forget about the constitution for a while. Forget about who now goes to UK. and yeah, can't constitutional. As man Babekan, who overji access to acquire action. I shall share to the best of my understanding, every President Mills and Mersu. A new constitution. So what happened? And then President Mills felt that there was a need for such a team. Coincidentally, in the newly industrializing countries in Southeast Asia, they also have some such bodies. And a professor of ADAKABRI, I don't know, Robert Wade, professor political economy, London School of Economics and Political Science, he study of Nkofono, of such team, the developmental elite. One working like the engine for the state. It is the brain of the state. And in this particular economic management thing, if we get the right people to work there, it will really provide a major catalyst at Ghana Debate Family. It is not in the constitution, but the significant thing to me is that President Mahama kept it. And then currently, I
didn't try.
So people who are just excuse me, fine, I won't use any of these things. If we tie ourselves rigidly to the constitution, then we will lose so many things. What do we say now? We have an emerging institution. A free ND system, a MPP system. They don't have any problem with it. Something is happening to Ghana. And we can't trivialize that particular issue. Some people do. You only keep quiet and listen and watch. But I disagree with them terribly. And then, the mere fact that the office of the vice president by the constitution, then can say, and just say office not the Hokwa. A hugely significant office. Hugely significant. And the issue of influence. It has to do with the substance the officer in the office has within him, within her. And almost developmental commitment to Ghana. And if they are really motivated to do that, whoever is their president, no papa.
And na ura amache buati. Ebede wase na after Jane and so now the temperament so are we so sure about the temperament? Anybody cannot get under her goat to get her to show a temperament other than what we have gotten to know by now.
It's going to be difficult for now to tell. Generally, my leaders are appear. If we are say to draw no idea. Once again, we'll come to you, Margaret Thatcher. Boy, papa. You go to Israel in their toughest days. I know I'm going to war, a lady leader, Nana Olidi or Mugoda Me. And then we go to other places where, women leaders have come out. They have done so well. We don't know what is going to come out now.
Yo, I'm actually me fancy as here. Na yaka politics dear. Then so say ya social science kakra so ka ho mi musa kumase asem ba ko na yenhwe se de esi etie. Se obia bedi santehene ewo asante a ensuo miensa ana sa nsuo no edi akotene ewo se obefro ababe santehene nsuo no miensa na baako eye bosomtwe lake bosomtwe ana baako eye oda in fact river oda eno kra the official name eye oda asante mawura ana eye river subin enti se wo hwe kra na ye call eye tachiman bono ho no mo kra no unse tano eni subin kabomu a na unya that amalgamation of asante ene bono enti a yetimi wo tano subini states atwa eye 9 states atwa tachiman ho ahia wo eclipse tachiman say yes wahene ba no ti tambia yetimi temu no na sa subin ho na obedi akonwa yebetwa eye prako ede agu river subin num na wada asante mawura no soso no o de bedware 7 times ansa ane akase na chese lake busuntwin wo ho na eye kumasi kontre eye mia made nyina eye quintus eye bafo ani se nei emunsem kukuru yema wakobu ntware apare chaw ewo eye manhia na afedi store dan no a wo kosi no race course ho subini twamu no afedi ye jai ni esi ekobu ye kote subini no mukura no a eye se danchamu o se alligator se anaconda o wapie firi subini no afiri ba bia obesene kokohie no edi twaw aba besene akɔhye eye subini na yase se we ni eye subini no ene wo besene akoyi na abusa ho se sansankyerani se esi ewo eye yamamremu yamaniemu ewa asante a can we put it to pass say asem kase enti na ma kotokohene wo ma kontre division wo munyina no ebebebu ntwere epache o ya na
ADAKABRI we are some sebo
Anka biom. Anka biom. Asam sebe anka biom. Doc nyamisha. Dale da mu betra nkra ha ka bi. Asama ye ka wo ti ase. Asebu.
Asam no edu mo.
Asem no edu.
Edu papa. Wo se me hwe odin. Ase wo lecture room na. Wo lecturer lecture. Na wo femu aba. Ntimi le bai din na medie.
Bai din na utie. Ai. Such as aboa no epie ye so ye die bai so ye denchem so ye die bai bes no ko e. Ehu
pa.
Tete bibi wo ho.
Mpanyifo na we do ma church na ya
Honorable member.
ADAKABRI.
Ubeka bi.
Edebi.
Ubedu kui wa sebu.
Oban dam traditional nyama na ADAKABRI fetcham kakra. Minyim mentasa so pi dam. Nti fetcham nkabi.
Aya na wo ma disturb yensu ahodo no. Ya na emunsem doso papa. Nso obi kusi dan. Na unse na anu ya oda afa prosifo mienu. So hunu. Etiye kan no. Busa se nipa dodo sen kra nenim se oda no kra no. Ye unse oda stretch edi free antwa bonwire joso besiase kwaso. In fact between a joso edi ko continency that road no oda no cross no 7 times. So
why the zigzag
sa oda no cross no sa ansana between Kumase atonso agogode ko continency no oda no cross no 2 times. Iti wo nam ho a ebede no ahunu se oda no na o mienda the way that way. So ahunu na yede kra no watimi ahunu se ne official name oda asantemanwura na ewo se obia no oba betra abandwa no so a wo ye santehene no ewo se oda odware oda no 7 times ansana adimu amena
ansana was not snake gwandu
ansana we di so wa nware oda no 7 times a enimu enti so obi koko sidan na odi disturb sansuo no a and then do we find out more ansana ye sidan kra
ADAKABRI asem easy. Anyway, I expect denka bantamahin. Denka ebia abako sem bi daman. Mejiz de onyim. So onyim so na webu na adwene na so egudu za onso ze muntu menchire. Kudi bi so de ebia onyim de history bi wodam. Onso ze menyim. Yen nyina yesua yen nyina ye bisa.
That it could be say dodo no kra nim say ansana be di sante hene so na wo say utwa preko egu subinum.
I'm coming to that. This is the first time. But as when be saying there as on Henan
second in command will come say.
Yeah. Is he privy to this information? On other yen ABC. Minimum. But I should expect the second in command is
What there.
Oh, be with them. But anyway, this days we downplay some of our traditions. After all, you see, like you hear us as I you see, says, then today be a akukrubidu. You hear us as easy, ebia hospital. Na nanum one po be the ho. No, sir, nanum home po easy. You hear BB is hospital and nanum po ende. This more among us a crap market because at times you hear us, it be a so more constraints when you see you hear baby as I BB. But a po so that's the only land so I be here this clinic. What's nanum po?
Nananum po say over 200 years ago. And nananum ehunu sentia na e was a omo ring fence tachiman. Ema asante etimi joining nsu akese ni mienu se tano eni subin etimi ka se tano subin states. Mako 9 atwa tachiman ho ahia in the event of how biano na ubetimi use sa satellite states no e dey attack tachiman ansana with the dom Afrikumase e dey akọ. Over 200 years and as asam da ho no mu na ene ya na hwan na ye na sede ye se obekire yen ama ye de respect wo se de masansu no ye de ama wo mu.
ADAKABRI, in totality I think we are losing our tradition in totality because school be also in who I call obekire the main unless the paying be fee if you ho ana paying be fee ahemfie ho or a chire da chamban but how many
Credibility.
Because how does it really benefit them? A modern people to say, on America, say, as I saw one here, as I see school, then as an animal po bianco. I mean, I can't womb now over school then, but a bisan also a bia, and now on ya soon be no shemo, but a war nature as be on Madam Mazen, Osiho, and see, Iabe, yan an animal, one for education.
Anybody do a second a think na ekokwaji asase ti ebesi na wo a ensuo bi da hɔ kora obewu se eye nsuo na wonwene se eye gota ne da hɔ na sa nsuo no kora no yemmu sakra se ensuo kora ya friend sen ensuo kora no ɛho nsam ne sen anadwo wode ogmu se wada na nsuo no so ne nenam area hɔnom ensuo no hwehwɛ bibi a moamu fie na obeba gege sa no ma no efre eti unsa kane no nan kampanifo no echichiri kura ohwe ba bi obenya nam ohwe ba bi obenya nsuo anom eti ohwe ensuo no na wahwe ba bi obenya nam no wode achichiri ekuro no ene nipa dodo se na gi asase nkra kura na omo ye mindful of sa nsuo no a ededa deda ho no ma yaye ne se gota no
ADAKABRI nobody cares wan kasa kan ko yen bia ensu fa nyinara yesisi wun is one dance p se ko baby a ne wo fro lakeside I believe then in soon or stressing in there multi but when crocha ma go to lake na chechaba kribia ebia other baby what a way snippy or blocking and see ADAKABRI
eti betimi enya soso ne yehunu
ogudo reason enya na like flooding pinye na wabe ADAKABRI minyini momuzo but ebia we nyin but some years back minim time say bankren. But
maybe in 1973-74.
73-74 in Suto Oyirin. No Ojiri pa maybe so. What was something like that happening? But in the in Suto, Obiani Shishin was sacred. Obiani Shishin. But on America there, the now no so when him the mam brena amanzi. One water na asasi. Another one, no miara. One water na asasi. Now, as I'm saying there, is it about the gods? Or bibi fufu bi o hɔ a wo save in sunu for on ode ehu oye abosom na because if the nanom no wo bɛka insu sam na aza was abosom another abosom sam was
at insu no wo abosom
oh obi bɛka cho de insu bi o da Ghana baby akra abosom
oh that's your understanding
oh yeah okay insu bi abosom dem
enti safem mpanifo ka sɛ onyankopon akode ɛhye nsu ase a
it's possible.
Because
I mean, in Subia, men who in Subia Martinism Biara, usum them.
I didn't know Jesus in Sanctuary Nibebro or yen in Sum. And Sony Abosoma, and Jesus yen Sanctuary Nipi, I will sum.
And I got every shot in Suka be soon cause the Chile, because a bill crapper or yellow crapper was so covered to be 7 times.
And yen Yamina to me be shen sum.
It's possible.
It is a case Yamia condition suasia. Does it mean so? Yeah, understand is it? So, bosom.
ADAKABRI, it's possible. It's possible. And I like the way I attach so much because in Susu Yankwa, no matter what, in Su, no matter how in Snow soy potholes or in so yanumi, inquire potho no baby, and what done in anyone or in Suman. Say, baby, so you saw a potho, I mean, I have a potho, yanuman. One of walk room, what's our name? A BB Antoine. Uncle Aponia was more. You saw a potho. I walk clubim. Yeah, I walk clubim. What's our name?
I don't fit. I will asante at himself. I don't think so. No,
totally okay.
Who crass or Yariana Huato.
Exactly. So, ADAKABRI people have beliefs in different things. Them ebia ebia bosom shisha in sumi. Minim ebia asofu bi so won so watch cha abosoma wo sum na say.
I said, you're environmentally friendly, Anna.
ADAKABRI me dasi bebre. Na me fanchi ya Peter or Kaneshi. ADAKABRI me so mine wa yeti. Ye enyoma nketenketi bi a boy ye ho ban. Ye nsomu ye o, ye di agro. Ye o man mu a ye twendua gu keke. Tu enwura gu nsuo mu keke. De ye pebia ne ye. Say, me who are buying be or say, my ba, our policy towards the environment. Our woman in a manifesto. And so, who say about we buy and dear, oh, yeah, or they a protected environment, river bodies, and all other things. Into a money pet me di so di agro ye di India yet seme ye ni ye bi wo man ni mu no akai kakra wo.
Because I can fa uko asante achem saf no and rather Dwabe municipality na uko bomfa na ufatre nkwan no so na bankro no da ho na ufatre nkwan so kokakra na ekum won na yetimi adane nsuo na ni si ye to gold na hwe ba bia chese bankro no chese ubusa ho say ya mindful of the dangers about your communities also when we treat rivers like that.
ADAKABRI me say ya hwe ye bedru be nsuo ye be import no ya no abe hu papa
nsuo bo odene sen petrol
na me ka kire e bedru be nsuo no bo yes because nsuo nkuro bi ase say obi because nsuo ni ho nto odware dako ne mbadware dako ne mako nsuo
no anya bobra pa ba ko no dware we bi
inkola no otume restriction wo mu dware nsuo say nsuo wo yesi adentia galamsey for say nsuo enhwe yo nsuo bi po ha yo plant bi a wheat bi a grow wo nsuo bi enu so fa teshi nu ngwa kwan nsuo a wo kọ tema committee 3 no a obo say nsuo kakra ka bi a deda da ho nyina no saa ahaban no anyinyini awo nsuo bi nim ni din am so some green e bi awo dini aye saa plant no enyini wo nsuo nanini abrochire ye de machine bi si nsuo nani na adosa enwure no nyina na nsuo na nyakwan aye ne Ghana yetumi tsena o me saa ahaban no tumi nyia na kata nsuo ni nyina eni ni ebedru bebe nipa nim se nsuo na bati chon no bi atom ni etro manim ha sei hwe enti time a aban extati galamsey no ba se Ghana fo nyina obia de support ma wo mo se aban mommode so betuma ye bibi wo bo ye nsuo ho ban of ekosi na aban ni mpanyufo na de wo mo agimu a wo mo so mo ye galamsey ni bi ebedru ye na mo ko wo ministry ho na we akọ na excavator yira na waye sei na waye sei na wo na wo se yenkoye ne emfa party adwuma yenfa scan be boa party nyama esu na ye national course wa obi afi se ye boa me ye boy nsuo ho ba ye boa yenfa ne se me wakure bi ase me kura ase nsuo enam ho ana bi ofin river ofin eno bi na me sa no me ni pipe eno an ye sa no de nu aduane edidware na imrantie bi tu galamsey na anwea no ye tugu nsuo no na nsuo no ba bedu me kura ase wa ye ko me nya sika we na makakoto chlorine ade aba begum anasa fe na me bese nsuo ndi akokosi jaso aka ne hye ma hye na ye hye kura still efi wom enti ye den na efi no kọ na se ese me nya chlorine me ni sika 5 series or 10 series or 20 series am koto chlorine oni bi enti ye so twen ma nsuo no kasa ebra no ho ase ansa batuma use
na nananom a omo ye custodians of rivers nananom omo ankasa omutu anamo ebo nsuo no ho ban
ADAKABRI am ahemfo akasa won sansem we akasa na ye fi se na me fi se nka bebi a ahemfo aka nanka aban de no ho gi mu anka si ADAKABRI me na me yo man he na me na oti kurom ho na wo ya branch a wo nya adwuma na wo se me nya adwuma nti yesi gold deposit bi wa anti ye koye galamsey ho ye nsabe koya no wo yo he na do anu kotu mpa ye so he ne mpa yasem ohene ne mpa mrantie ye wo kurom ho mpa yasem ene ya kokope bibi adie ana oma hene se ye iba enti oma hene to me the message ni bro aban ne say wo finkran na se wo di soldier for ne police for ba kura na se wo say the way ankrofo say yensuo ni asase no se wo be mu bia abeboa esan se wo wa ya hoho e wo kurom ho enya me oma hene no abeti kurom ho enti ko oma mpanyini anasa aban mpanyifo ye di soldier for kogugo ni a check na die ni ehunu na nsen ya be mfie mienu miense ne die ehunu se asojafo mpo a ye de omo akọ no omo kọ no so e de omo akọ jimo omo ye galamsey ne bi ministers of state e ka ho a ye galamsey enti akuno age yensem ya nhwe ne yie ni anhwe ne yie beduru beebi se de ye kokra esikire ene emu efi beebi ne ye ba Ebeye infie beye duonu na infie duonu
I mean, message in
Eba ko fa nsuo fi baby ni.
was say good afternoon, Wafa. And next to our London, and or was say fascinating to hear you talk about the Oda River on your show today. I am from Achinakrum and used to swim in the Oda River, but I've never heard of it as one of the sacred rivers in Asante Kingdom. Wonderful show. Just say, oh no, Achinakrum, where do you mean? Nature, who do you mean? Penny Faso, now the Achinakrum Saipe, now they call a year, Paso, Ekuba. Say, Ujarin Sunum, but one take rather. Now, a young way I said, yes, say, or church, tongue, to be the sound, say, you can't a year, a nyama, a su nyama, say, Antoine Suno, say, Crone the Anto, and then Suni the nyama. So, no, and a nyama, or cock, a cock bo a year or danum. It is a wobi grade, a sunya mano, a yo bibia. Who bet me a quack would carry a sunya mano, or danum. Ama se wo sa wada de ye de opese wode ye kasa kire suonya ma enam se suonya ma ne be bo oda no munti no wo kasa kire na obeti but wo bisa se ade wo se ye kire ye na se e wo se egusu ye secret ye mystery ana
Adakabre am say hwe emre bi abesin kor na ye nkwala no eduru enwumre a ban say ya bogja e we kurase na etinatene eja no wetete fom na opanyin onim amamre eti mfimfini na oboye nkomo a ye mamre nkomo na okyerɛkyerɛ ye sɛde okoman no yɛtete no ɛna sɛde wo mammerete die nti a ye nya bibi die nti a ye mohwere ma anadwo die nti a ye nya sei ne akyerɛkyerɛ mu na mrantie ne die nyini Adakabre ye a ye nyini a ye num ye duru 40 a ye pa ho saa nyoma wo yesua bi ye kyiri ba meka say the next 20 years and another 30 years go obi a ye biu osoro no pa e kwan obefa so obenya bibi edi na odwene ho
enye Cartoon Network de nkwala hwe
cartoon na nkwala no hwe ye nim hwe de enima ne computer wo do phone ma akwala wadi 5 years akwala wadi 10 years 7 years obetuma ye bibi a wo phone so nanso na mamre ene se de ye kan de history onim de nti a ye ka sei onim de nti a ye nka sei aka Adakabre se nye abadu baby kwa mesa hwe ne ya ye kasa akra ye frɛ no kasa akra ye nkasa ne nkasa sɛ bibi a ye bekasa obe pa wo kyɛw sɛ anhwɛ ne kwa ba yira anhwɛ ne ya me pa wo kyɛw sɛ oni panyini kasa no waka asɛmi na bekasa me pa wo kyɛw episrew sɛ ni die no a yesua etiquette no ebekɔ nso school esa sɛ school kra ye gya kyerɛ
Yeah, but Adakabre, we need to find an innovative way of teaching some of these things. Like this. Oh, you boss, yeah.
Obi busa se
An innovative oh, like the bio. And you may be a while, you see a couple, you nim couple days. Like them, the Lord King. And then nobody, Bokakatine, Yahoo by the fireside there, or Kusia BB out to them. But we can find an innovative way. Aban wanaso ibia God of the Manyame, Center for National Culture. Or church Manze, no Yamambre. But it seems there a hawk painting ones in Craponat Moria. Like National Theatres, you know, they started with this consequences, but there was nothing like cultural and maybe a way. See, issue have to be a wake up call for the master in. That we need to do something about because yes, there's no Nananomna can only teach in their locality. Now, what about in one kind?
Anthropologists do Senkwana Ghana war. Now, do we hear of anthropologists from Kromo Yomayuma?
Adakabre, it was no Minko, but I mean, Abana says or was asked one answer or one answer the Wobble boy hen,
chieftain and culture. Yamasi.
Yabo yen culture who they will not
because because the importance of various the rivers Ghana how
like I mean maybe some lemon rivers the Ghana rivers pure but do I crapona very very few but there are a lot.
There were 8 major ones.
Sure me.
So obi to say revolti.
Okay.
The Uti region. In fact, and only the only river Ghana was spanned through 4 countries. uti expand through 4 countries.
Okay.
Into baby drew us say no. Now about the Bob Volta no. So no. And obi to say river from. From so free. And Kranza Jurassic Massey area ho. Now about cross Krubi or Mampon, a friend of Fram so. Cross over Monoa. Na fe on nam Dijani Kuja Forest wa na wababe drew kutusu aba kwawu. Na je se ono so wababe bo Volta no. So ansa na white Volta no so no. Onso ono so sane through Hamile. Eba ma obebi drew the Bui Gorge. Na wababe Bukef. Na fe wababe fa Dabuya ene efense Damango area ho na or they call Bupe. So ansa na black Volta no so ono so eba no wababe across so boga baby omo yetu man to see na ono esa de aba na won so aba betwam wo yape na wakotwam wo makango na omo miensa no aba be hia na aye Volta no a afi ne ya aba be dam no so ansa na tanon so nse tanon so no e di free tachima area ho and across so just before you cross to Abesim tanon no so twam wo ho twam anu aba hafo abefa akire nsua abefa hwidie makofa mehame de akọ no beko na wakroso that time tanon no kura na ufiri baabia ne ko kuku mu a Rollins na ye de kodo na ne de twa tanon no Rollins na be bridge de to tanon so between kukum esoso ene baabia ne no enso tanon no cross be 3-4 times kura anse na wadura bo frame so tanon no so be ko na wakọ cross main sehwedwuna se de ekọ buako dwaboso no across the road no ekrobi o mfre no tanos nso so tan across Professor Frimpong Boaten kura ne maame kodo ho nti ho no come on ekro ni din no ma you cross one afa sehwewi so secondary school na chi so na wakọ akọ fa wasam into free ye friend saying asenkragua de ekọ enchia ubehia tano no eno so first nanka pantu na da so na ne ko mo de bridge to so yeji sika ewo so omoji to don to cross enchi side ho no no a na fe wo de yakọ ekro bi wo mfa na asem krom ufri enchi de ko lubua ti sa asem krom ho no mkọkọ ye Mebe and Johnson bridge no eto so ekofa problem bi ba ya enipa bi koko prison wo ho ne ade no ho ansa na bia no so de free sunwane area ho fie pre ho na ono so bia no rewura mu an wakokross ona ye share between bono ene ahafo that time do masa kwa masu Gambia no mwana matu no across bia no nso bia no so na mo sa individu ba bi kura no ne tano na kosia bat aka tu na bro no mabom omumu da ubon se bia no kala ni tano no kala ni omu nyina be kosa no masa heden asa di party so enti sa ecosystem no your system no ansa na nkobra wono so ema so on sheda nwasa obetwam ewo boardie area wasa kropon boardie no baba be cross manso amamfi na odikono so de akobopum it is how 8 major rivers no
border between Greater Accra and Central region I think densu non ofihin
densu so free amanwase ekrobi o ka kokofa mamfe na usane wodi kokofo do ya no beduru ko be frɛ no adoso nti tudu adoso won mo na ubetimi afa back route ama no do be kwa kosi suhum ebekwa kosi kuro bi so efrɛ wonom amanwase 1927 na broni tokoko amanwase nti wo mo si store down ho nti wo se densu no datri nkwa ne nkyɛn saa so nti densu no nam ho saa na waba be pie densu so ɛno so yɛ between apedwa ene suhum wo nse no so densu so no wo nti nsuo no rewura mu a nti densu no ɛba na nso twam wɔ nsuo mu a nso ɔba no aba be pie wɔ west of Accra ha sei Wager area ho it was we say Wager one okobopum obasa tene right was and as a west was akwa akobopum mu wo shama wo Winneba into do win ba na be hu se densu no obo ogina on ma papa no ansa na pra no so de efiri kwa mam atu obi kurum na pra no so aba na obekro so Kumasi highway no akwakofa ofuase ayirebi na just one so na mu akwakopi ewo adonkro no so between Hede ene Buadua junction sa donkro no uremu no akwakofa akwatia no akwakopi achiase area honom achimso aduro so no so akwantu no kom no kokko bend wa achiase honom no honom ahwe be fa no sojafo no and me papa do kofo kwotena so anyame nko the opposite no or this speed boat in the pra no so sane a na fe no pra no won oda a free business a wo fa dwoso no oda no be kwa ko bookef ewo Jacobu area ho no fa prosefo no mienu no bookef Jacobu area ho na amanse ho no akwa bo ofinum so na just ofinu so dia carry no de ne kopra no ne pra no so de ne kwa no akoduru people so Takrady road no so atene westwards na just no akoshama no akọ enti o se sansuo ni nyina no yetimi hunu so ntu se pra ne nam sachire himaya ya ne ye num nso Takrady fo num nso central region fo num nso so yenhwe ne yie enti no na da bia mansuo na short ho enti Rivers Commission ubusa se den pa na omo ye ama ordinary citizens no ehunu the important role sa Rivers no esoso play to be this of fin baby of fin through just twam wo kodie na wakwa to of no odnamu sa de kofa de mra esan de babesene kodu nkwawo so and son of enti sa nso ni nyina say ya ne basanti sa 8 major rivers no step be ne ya take say be protect sa 8 major rivers no nyankopon so reason to the mind it is nsuo no because the 5 longest rivers in the world ni nyina area. It is our 5 longest rivers in the world na area no. Yes, so you had your rivers and what is happening to them. It eventually ni nyina dry up na area. Ya be yeden.
Chide punsuna.
Punsuna
ya dan de na enyu de. Hanso no gbe.
ADAKABRI am say be the man be see about. Am say two major things. First, human activities. Akwanya ya yeti nsu ano. Ye nyoma no airtime womo boti nsu anu a ye de ball agu nsu ye de robbers egu nsu saa suban no esi ehihye mra ye betumi enforce so ne ye jai saa de na ye be ya ye se ye de ahemfo ka ho na ye ma ahemfo tumi wo mu kurom se ya ma utumi se saa de wei ema nkoso wo nsu we ano esan se ebe se ye nsu etoso mienu Yenfa ekwan papa so a small scale mining. Ye betumi ama wo magai galanse for the jai wo madwuma de wo ye a wo de say yensuo. Saa de mienu we sa ban ne wo mpanyifo ye tua wo ka sika puduo wo mem ha sei. Ye tua wo ka papa. Sa sika no me de betumi di 1600 16,000 a month. 18,000 a month plus allowances plus clothing. Wo hwe wo clothing ni wo nyoma. People are taking as much as 31,000, 30,000 a month. Woman tenase no woman for why my binim boom. No moon say yensu a ye de insu a woman. Yes, say yensu. Yan find quine be a bebuano. Near the ashi shed, near the boy yensu who by.
Young can messages kakra. Na yamra the usual politics. Na yamma just and bedroom. Was it good afternoon, Uncle ADAKABRI? I'm enjoying your geography of Ghana presentation. Lovely. Minuya YB Amponsa. Yadom and what do we say bye? Was it good afternoon, Uncle? Primusco inside Bonfachians and Ekase. Please, Uncle, I want to read your book, so please help with a copy of your book because you are the history of Ghana. Uncle, help me to get some to read, please. I'm a pomaso or chia papa. Ozi edebrami tukan. Ozi
say unnim say no. I say anya wo nkwampo nipa mienu miansa bia munnim amamre na kama bom. Na ma tro book. Ma tro. No nipa to cha wo unnim.
Na say ne dom tre ye nya ne ye ken.
En ye ken. En na me ken. nti wo ma man tie
enya na
radio
anansesem na ya
well
tu
ya toyi na nke ya chro na wo say wo ma mo twa nansem ka mo jai people are stopping
Even
these
read.
days people don't even read TV Facebook.
But is it interesting?
It's interesting, very interesting.
Mm.
Very, very interesting.
Also, ADAKABRI, rivers per se are not fetish or demons or spirits by themselves, but the fallen angels dwell in water bodies from time immemorial. This is described in Revelation chapter 12, verse 12. The spirits in rivers include Mami Wata and dwarfs. Therefore, if you do rituals in a river, the recipients are these spirits. Hokuvi ewo kaswa no ken. I don't know me busa question. Me say adentina Jesus ni major ayinya yen oye no nsuom. Say river gods na tinsuom dia. Ade na Jesus we say kokoto nsuom no yesey na wase nsuom no de yesey. Ade na da bia no wase nsuom enti MJ be hia theologist bi no wa kire di nti a ya na Jesus major ayinyina no odi nsuom no de ye. I say good afternoon, Alhaji ADAKABRI Mahmudu Usioma. All this historical information, rivers and all, I wonder, did you learn all this in London, UK, or you have a very old person at home who has taken you through all of them? I can't remember who get tired listening to you. Please, do you have a book? If not, we beg you, please write some. You are too much. Peter Ewonunga and Odiwe say bye. Yeah, ADAKABRI and history. You've made me miss Nana Jessica. As an I can say, Junior ADAKABRI Odoko and Odi free buy. I say, hello, Miss ADAKABRI. Good afternoon. From Danso Causeway down. Mahmudu, chosen Professor Upoku Ajima to become the running mate of Professor Presidential Kani Mahama is not going to bring anything new to the party because Ghanaians have taken their decision already. And she should not be happy about it at all. And or they buy. I see, when I was a kid, there was a children's program on Ghanaian culture on GBC 1 on Saturday mornings. Betomu Taman. And or do we say buy. I say, in fact, Dr. Amachibwadi made a profound statement making comparative analysis of Dr. Bawumia and Professor J. Nano Pokuajima that the former has changed the dynamics of political periphery of Ghana. This, I think, is a great challenge to Professor Jane Nano Pokuajima coming as a vice president aspirant. But the question is, what change or impact is she going to make or add? Is she ready to answer the Pasco of the late Pakwesi Emisata? Or how much crowd is she going to pull to the NDC? Asem Sebe, Onela Mponsa, Amsterdam, and Odi free ya, what they buy ye. I say hello, good afternoon, Wafa. We know the Aunt Mahina, Miama, Kano, Puntus. I say ADAKABRI, then time in early 90s, every evening, our parents used to call us to tell us the stories we need to know in a sense of history. But now, due to education, parents now ask their children to do their homework, forgetting that history is very important. That brings us today. I don't blame anyone, but rather the system. And now, Odibai. Pamientri, new Aplaku, or say ADAKABRI, there are spirit creatures in rivers, lakes, and the sea. They are some of the rebellious angels who in Noah's day came down to the earth and took on fleshy bodies to marry some of our children. Genesis 6:2. During the flood, they were forced to abandon their fleshy bodies and return to heaven as spirit creatures, but they were treated as outcasts and thrown out of heaven. Some remained in the sky, others fell into the sea, rivers, lakes, forests. And Mr. Hackman, and I say, or persuade a clarification, Mikaka, our Subin River. Mr. Hackman,
Yeah,
now whom put the saying?
the
Nyamiasi. Me wa reshemu say that be further information clarification be especially efa Subin River ho na pese woni ye share.
No krepa me da se. Me chia watiefo ene wadwuma 43 Mr. Odame. Me chia no pa. Asemo a kakra me pese me ka ade boa woni se Krua your friend Bojisango. Adam say Bojisango. Say
yɛka asanteman abakwasɛm ne mfiti aseɛ ne ntoaso a wɔyɛsa ho yɛ kura a yɛntumi nyi no firi mu koraa
dabi da
na nsuo asɛm a wokaeɛ no yɛm ne bɛka ho ne sɛ subin ɛne asuo busumuru wɔn mu firi bɔyɛsa ho nanso biribi nti asuo busumuru edi akata ɛkyerɛ sɛ woka sɛ nsuo bi wɔ hɔ a sɛbi na ne ntwa anaa ɔmfane na nsi hɔ kuro te sɛ bɔyɛsa ho asuo busumuru na n'atwa koraa ɔmfane na nsi fam na deɛ baayɛ ne sɛ subin efiri bɔyɛsa ho ɔkɔ bɔyɛsa ho subin da kootia ɛna busumuru nso da kootia na asanteman yɛyɛ adɛkɛse a na ntɔkwa a asante ɛkɔboro busumuru adanse bɔyɛsa hofoɔ no ɛnam busumuru so ɛna ɛkɔsɛɛ no ɛyɛ asɛm a nipa bebree nim yɛkɔsɛɛ no na busumuru kyiri nantwie ɛna ɛkɔtwaa nantwie nti asantefoɔ history no na nom ɛne adanse bɔyɛsa ho ɛkɔmprɛ nson ansana saa nyankomade no ɛtumi baa so enti pampa so wokɔ a asuo busumuru ɛhɔ na ɔhyɛ na subi no nso yɛde firi bɔyɛsa ho aboabo firi bɔyɛsa ho asɔkwa firi bɔyɛsa ho agorafoɔ no yɛde bɔyɛsa ho nkuro ne na eyi no ne abɔnten edi egugu so no yɛde baa kumase ɛna yɛde busumuru nso bɛtena pampa so enti yɛsoa nana wosɛ okodware subi mu ke saa so na yɛde busumuru nso ɛyɛ amammerɛ na ne kɛseɛ koraa ne sɛ sɛ yɛdi adeɛ kɛseɛ a na di kan ɛde nantwie ɛkɔ pampa so ɛkɔma busumuru no ayɛ ne sɛ bosom no osi hɔ gu ayawa mu gu nsuo no si hɔ na yɛwie biribi nso no yɛde odwan akɔpata busumuru na yɛwie no yɛsan de busumuru adwira ɛyɛ haban busumuru adwira yɛde agu nsuo ma pitipiti kumase bɔnten nyinaa ahohoro efi ne nneɛma a aba no nyinaa afiri hɔ enti asuo subin wɔne busumuru ɛyɛ nsuo a sasanteman yɛka abakɔsɛm a egyina mu dendenden nanso ɔyɛsa ho nso ɛne n'asaseɛ mepɛ sɛ mɛkasa pii wɔ adeɛ afidie so mepɛ sɛ ɛyɛ mmea me nua adakabere mɛba efiri nnɛ kɔka fia na nga wo ma me mmerɛ a mene wɔ nkɔmmɔ bi a mepɛ sɛ mene die because mene gye deɛ woyɛ biara ho de biara mepɛ sɛ menya mmerɛ ɛbaa hɔ metumi koraa yɛ whatsapp ne Facebook na ya umga me enti mesrɛ bebree mepɛ sɛ meba hɔ mafew sɛ me ne wobɛtena hɔ enti mpagye ofiri nnɛ kɔka fiada mehwɛ ni mu sɛ wobɛfrɛ me me nɔma wɔ Mr. Odame hɔ enti woyɛ ha deɛ mepɛ sɛ me no daabi me nua no yɛ nyinaa baakɔ deɛ woyɛ nso yɛne gye ho mepɛ sɛ meba na yɛtena ase ne nneɛma bi wɔ hɔ a
yɛhyɛ mu kena
yɛdi ho nkɔmmɔ mempɛ sɛ obi ate nti meda ase
That's
it. I'm sure so mama me kwan. E mama me makasa ewie. Na me wie sɛ ɛbɛboa ma yɛ nyinaa so yɛ hu ne ma foforo bi ana yɛaka yɛnim. Me da se pii na me nhyira wo right.
Na me nhyira wo Mr. Hackman. Mr. John Hackman ɛna ɔno nso so yɛatene ne no. So wo no kyɛ sɛ yɛyɛ na nka nananom yɛ ne wo masetena mu yɛhwɛ ne yi a. Kabu sɛ nananom bɛka no ma bebree de akyerɛ yɛn. So ebi a bɛtwe adwene si no ma bi so. So, I say we abandoned our culture from when we started giving strange names to our children. I don't know how that fallacy came about. Adumunshira and so on. When we have our names that depict blessings, grace, and all. Kwakubuaten Frimpong and Odifri Coventry in the United Kingdom, Adiabeng. So, and they just reverting to our old traditional customary names. So say, considering your reverence for rivers, do you apply your horn when you appear near bridges? Right. You move on. Na yen konkohe. ADAKABRI. Jesus is the author of all lives. Anything that passes through the name of Jesus is purified because Jesus does everything by the power of the Holy Spirit. So when Jesus enters the river, every spirit in water bows. They even ran away. Or say, ADAKABRI, you need to be awarded a doctorate in philosophy. The DNT say nyame tumi no odi hene e wo soro na asase so na asase ase. Do we understand? Say nyame ahini no tumi no say wo Yesu din no a esoro na asase so na asase ase. E de na wa asase ase enti a che edini no asase ase nyina no edi mu ho. Em say no de gise kire ne be pe. I'm very sad because I come from a dance Wajisango, a Subusumuno, offer he protect all the children from a junior ADAKABRI. You see, I've but individual towns, you know, Obian in Bibi Kakra, FM Subia, Obian in Bibi Kakra, Obian in Bibi Kakra, Obi free a Boma, Tano district Boma, Nature, Ubunse, a so a papa, song a pape. So no obekwa kwotena ba bia onya hunu kwoto no anu se apepe na abe ho no so nto bia woni kurom a tena hwai nti do firi se kurom wona se wode kwotena Canada kora na ha obehu se hu kwoto no anu se apepe na aduru ho no ade na o ti ase gwapa mu wadie na right jenana opoku ajeman ye boni dini kura no. Oh, a member of the Functional National Executive, National Communications Officer, and Yerija, no, as a cocobo. Na essay a damn play, baby. Or no so class also accept ya test short statement. I manage your own. I feel said that John and a candy be a crabby fan on every what other. Obey me and one casada, and tintas row are more. I feel near see a quack dana day. Honorable member for a Asebu, Kwaman Kessim, a bibia. Uhunu discerning strategy be anase ubaka say kenken kwa
you ADAKABRI easy a minchia weti fuinara nkankan abura sebu kwa manka fuinara michia hwan dem question is nka semunia the labum na
awonu ni kankan sa
because one like they know their strategy what ebia baka there that is their own political strategy
never adwuma
oh adwuma ne ze ADAKABRI on kwahwe. Last time I nkama bakan hawa ibinum eya opede was a fancies especially was nji enwanyam wo baby but one communication director obakan honestly it is totally up to their party on makan it is their strategy say munye so sha so do kasa na yebu de oye one strategy another ebia washadana wa downplay man and now but test what is how people will really react to
and as this stage you make sense no
oh one two moments is but in kobutum we use kwan foforo bi do na wa package ni yi because emu there say ebia say yenra John na so oba out oba kan director enka wo basha foforo bi eyi wo bo abaka nti ni wo pele wo so Ghana fun ya adwene hwe oh a communication officer waba abano so abakan so you be taking the or official because he is the spokesperson for the party. Into oba now so yeah mama na gaza but minim say officially say mama say woman letter another what catch officially there on minim but bisa na ono so bia no so ti wo radio do. Nti am say ono kase anka na anka yebo hu inti atakampacho manikwana onka sene yehu because minim samame so ati radio do say wo friend official wo ka akire no so ati ne so ono mum oka na yebo hu baby a ofi bai but moti biara wasen de wo be na akire nti yeti nti beda metimi say wo hyeda na wo ye you so ye one strategy say obu na wemfa mbu maami no say oti de no onze muni adala kida wara.
Well,
like since I was can one communication.
I just said there are also bad instructions every no. I didn't want direct to say.
Oh, they be like. Oh no, like. Oh, it's my kakra. asa etmenye de adakabre ese ana wasn't ana wo yi no was a chiren wo ma won communication officer na obey na obobezin ana mboa na make de ameminyim so yen one strategy o so you obu na wenfo mbu ma mi because it could be the ma mi kwa bo mbu ni bi enti na one flag bearer na nkasa one ba bo hanu enti menyim
general secretary ameka
kwa ambaka na was party communication officer but one kwa
communication
director on nanka mabeke wo communication director no communication officer enti wona bi kwa bo hana ne post no kwa po no mu yedru on zi menyim
director na epanyini
director na pay and actually appointed position no mu yedru sin on elected officer na ehu
wo mo structure no
ai on zi menyim na nka wa ma on mum panyini mum wa makama on zi adakabre pocho mesman risi ha emu de ne yente mu nia dela o wan sam kan sam wana no ne yente pocho the same question no why there o ma communication yi jamba kan bibi anfa de mayor tayen direct denti
too short too direct
thank you
enti dela designing strategy bi ene ba ya na
adakabre me na se bebre me won wase me nue ye de asema ma no no nka na age se obi kasa ansa na watu enya bi aka enwo wampo ya reho etoso mienu adakabre ye wo ekwan ya ye fa so ware se ukona kotu oba ne tinsa awo na busu afia na busu afo hu ne se ampa gitum se waba betu oba ne nsa oba ne ye wo yere ebinim tumi ye friend no engagement ebusu emienu ntena ho tutu nsa eze ye ka ho obi tumi ye wedding ne mi ense nyina ne nyina ya ware nanso ya mamre kire se de wakwa wakotu oba no itiri nsa no kire se wa ware ye ne ye running mate ye ne ye no anya MP before dia ye dia ene ye de ne ma o mangana ana story no about out. It was being speculated in the morning to the afternoon. And a communication officer who is bigger in the NDC than the communication director of the party. Kakrasama lawyer Kakrasama is a senior communication officer, a senior communication director. So a boss. But because his position is an appointment, appointed director, no. Sami powers override him. That is the structure in the NDC.
Sami a member of the functional
executive members of the NDC.
Okay.
It's a party, no.
Ignorance.
Thank you. It's party, no. We have settled on the person. And now you name say you outdoor, no sir. That area no say time no see. And now general secretary no mean say oh Sami. Yeah, we say how to make a check Ghana for say Oman Asia at this time, the candidate Nipa, ya nominating not to ya. Na Nipa ye no only Magana for answer Asia. One year one day. And ye Professor Jenna no Pokwajiman. And ye say, ye and pay for your consultation, ye be a and ye didn't ever to Janny a friend, communication director of the party. And those who don't know. So when you're communication director of the NDC when we are in opposition, you hold enormous power because you speak for the party. And you speak for the flag bearer, you speak for the general secretary, and speak for the chairman of the party. And the assembly the best show no na ukoka. And the share Samiano says Sami, faculty just say,
no, is it communication officer or director? Because you are mixing
communication
the two.
Officer of the party.
But you just said communication director. No, you just
communication
said
officer of the party. And they and then assembly share no say catch a Ghana for say ye shia 3 o'clock. Na 3 o'clock no ye shia no. Ye osibesi ne ye no. Enti ye fan de ntuja. Ye na obi e hu say oh yes ye answer na e ko shia ye. Answer no man pay jo mama yi ne kire ye. The bone ye wo ho ane de wo ye.
Ene chese ye yi kire wie ye no.
Yes.
Ena ono soso wa mo wa wantintesu. Wanye bibia ena otro short test statement oh magiatum ena otene baby ena ye ton ayen tonton akode emu de ebo no ni nyina muaye bi ama
medase adakabre medase se ye nyina e wo wiase mu nyina ya dwene te se wo a nka ba na me na meti bebi a wotie o bebi a wotie me nya ya nka metena wo na betuma ka akire na na kufa do se na mamu onye de bia bebi a wotie ba me ni ho akwan me ni hu ne me die wo na wo nsa no me se ana ya dwene te ya be pa akire ne se obi adwene se NDC fi se yeyi Professor Jenna no Pokwajima ye de ne be kire Ghana ba that day no Professor His Excellency John Mahama be yi na kire oyi ne kire Ghana fo agine to no ba ka se magiatum ye wi a ye be pe da foforo aba tie me kan kire strategy eni ne se sa day no ne yi ne to yanka enne de a ye nke ni ho so we are taking advantage of the situation. We are in COVID. We are not even campaigning. And see, you're there, you know. That's Ben Kasa. You're not
campaigning. Eh? You're not campaigning.
We have not started campaigning. Have you started? We have just nominated. We have just come out with our campaign.
Oh, so you've not started campaigning?
No.
What?
We have not.
Oh, please go ahead.
And see, yes, started campaign. And see, I failed. I didn't know actually. You see.
It's a part mama not talk
we are
like others no.
What is it?
Not all no
okay. Helping to ease pressure on you government on the on the COVID.
Yanko.
That is exactly what.
Oh, yanko.
And see what be we come here and send it time.
Meje. Oh, like so as more kwan.
And see if he say a da a yefe beto fata say ye be man kwanyam wakasa ne any. Ofa, it's a complete ceremony today. Efe. Says Saturday, you're man 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 minutes. And then you're man full. I say, you know, natural, and then no be Cassatra Ghana for. I say, you know,
na a strategy na mo share that man
strategy in here.
They say, Akodia na ye dear Truamane no. Is it enough? And I say, Ebiabata.
But I see, baby, say, a die ye knew ye say, one nam MPP ni be dayechi. That's all ya pursue bon who, and no, I can say. Professor Jenna no Pokwajima but say nipa kunu abo ada no abo prim brim ehu aka wo mugina
yesu ma jan kwani
Professor Jenna no Pokwajima say one abo sa di ni wo ho yesu ma jan country be ehu ku ha
a che se ano a professor na MPP fo ni nya bi da
wo munya anya I don't know sir me nim so ba yi bi da o flag barrel raise o ma yi bi da
but we professor bi
there is o ma yi yeah me kasa Memen kasa.
And this mum
ADAKABRI no come. Minka he is manima. ADAKABRI no come. Minka he.
Na mum you professor da. When you professor.
Oh, mon kodo.
Enya doctor na mo de nenam.
What mon ko?
When mu professor to so ni. Mo nya doctor na mo de nenam.
Who professor? Why you professor?
Debut, na your professor. Like looking at the academic ladder.
Professor me
academic ladder na nkasan. Now no up him ADAKABRI.
Doctors ana.
Thank you.
Sir. The professor ni who?
Oh the what to kada ogwenya professorship 4 times. And this for. Umbocho kodo alkoyi.
I'm say
oh koyi.
Let me educate you this afternoon.
Educate me.
To me professorship 4 times. It is not that.
I want to work in one
in education.
I want to work in.
I'm a member of parliament. Don't come embarrass me.
I am telling you that one end is going to work other ways. Oh, one was when your professorship 4 times.
One okay.
One end is for every way.
This will be uncadam. One okay. Bibi so the one okay.
Akabi.
Member of parliament who knew the professor. I am fair.
I friend. What's your obia? Mamia welcome when your professorship for Messiria. I will kebi. But your match my
coming.
Upon West. You know what one is in Canada. One is in what one is a crap. I listen to you. I listen to us, Professor Nano Pokwajima when your professorship. For 4 times. Okay. As a doctorate degree, 4 times doctorate degree. Say which institutions? Say I dare him. Osi doctorate 4 times. ADAKABRI. Only license you okay. Osi when your doctorate degrees 4 times. Until him. Until doctorate degrees and new institutions. You should tell us. Above for now, what's get a PhD 4 PhD. Oh no, but I because I'm Malban. Let me keep it now. Like I'm Malban.
Also, Wabon.
Oh yeah, okay. Listen, what can several times?
I didn't also cancel.
I will okay. One partner okay. Man, you know, Kevin show they be program they say. Look, up and I'm going to now I wait when and you I will okay. I will not win. About one party. No. Or from one party leadership from the top to down. You are going around saying that Mr. Anchen, doctorate degree 4 Anchen.
Obi Chiradia university for a period of time.
I'm going to France, France, those with master degree, scrap, they call them professors. So what are you talking about? Go to France.
I say,
once you go to France, like you go well. No wonder. Oh,
I didn't know kind of
my one is the way we should have got trading in other. Oh, they be off your crop. You should stop this stupidity. Who are you?
Come on. You do
not who say Jimmy, Miss Abbott, not one Jimmy, Jimmy, the Ebe, Jimmy, and a Bonazzi. No, wait, Jim, catch him. You and this for the way right telling people doctor. Miss Anchen, 4 doctorate degrees on chain. Oh, communication with Jimmy, the be there. Jim Papa, Jimmy, come on, now Bonazzi. No, I'm serious. Oh, Jim, please. Come on. Me MP, me party that wala. Jimmy Salmon, Francine, Papa. I will Jim. Mr. Anchen, 4 doctorate degrees. Anchen. Mr. Anchen. Jimmy Fo.
Oh, come on.
No, but they be a man. I was jump of our flow. Wedger. I will Jimmy for that was I mean now. Fancy can talk as I say. And you talk, Papa. Oh, Jimmy for Cabo. Oh, they will talk, Papa. Catch it.
Mintium Cacrabin Pamchon Penny for. Please, I apologize profusely to the listener. Because Sabri will say no, quality timer. Listener no is swing. Once you unite, say, the cocoa far in Suya Semina. Patrick Della, you give me some few minutes. The cocoa in Suya Semina by that single news item, say, and a band to my henny, and a subing, and a coffee. Once you say, I get to say, you swing, baby. Mama, the drew politics is also a moment you swing, baby. As a first step, Della, it was uncalled for. Say, Ubercatcher, honorable member of parliament, say, Sebioku, words now use and they were not appropriate. Into on say a chair, yeah, you repeated it. When one also say, would not could drew angle be a yes, son or tear. And say, listen, and who knows, oh, you're a professional teacher, or no so no a MP, and yet fair, he be used to such language. Now, when it comes to politics, we can't learn anything. And when it comes to other things, then we can learn something. Me pamucho, TF4, me pamunina mucho, honorable member me pacho. Whatever got under your goods, forgive me. And Della, you are my brother. It is unlike you. Right on characteristic, me pacho. Refrain from using words that can provoke the other to also use certain words. Why? Mamen Kinka, Lady Diamonds, Minia baby or London, Minia Bapa, no. Lady Diamonds, who's so free in Ekasay. Or say, ADAKABRI, MANSO Asante Achem, and a new to a champion groom moss. Or say, main river head near Pen Apitusu Kofi. Now, it had a golden fish with gold crown on its head. And Apetishi man started his business right at the head of the river, and the golden fish has vanished till date. It will almost be a petition. No, once in Suan Kuma be bringing no petition for no no. There almost you send soon so evaporating, evaporation at the Yoma petition in the by Sudo no Makunsuno. A trainer Nakwami Amankwa Nekasa on Facebook Live, you are saying Hey, Wafa. How can you know all these towns and villages? Please, I want to know. Brilliant. Okay. Sidi Fuseni. I say I am a geography tutor, but your lecture on our rivers, has really schooled me. Hey, aka alone. Moro Fuseni neka say. I say minkaji kum. I say MPP chairman Kabu, Afghanistan. Also, so this Dela Adam. When will he get gray hair? Dela Dabena Trino, no Benya White account. I say minkaji saying. Also, all is about Christianity. We are learning history of Israel, and we forgot about our own. And Odiaba. Steve Okofu. Also, please, ADAKABRI, ask the MPP man the institution which Anado got his law degree. And Ode Ebaye. Last man standing. What's the meaning of all this? And Emmanuel Hall. Also, today, the lamb meet his meter, always shouting and talking by heart. Sami Buachi. In fact, ADAKABRI, I'm very, very disappointed today. And Dela should learn how to deal with the elderly. And let me, Debbie, Pacho, Pacho, Udia, so Onu Nimua.
You should stop making those things.
I see, we are learning from you people about insults. And Sami Buachi, I said, now Dela, you see yourself. Is that how you teach your students? Oh, wow, let's say no to NDC. Nana Osedria. ADAKABRI, this is hallmark. Just insulting everyone that interacts with him. If on Nana Osena, do we say by? Yeah, Facebook now, you continue with the discussion. Young fast, that's also Emma, African cream mackerel. Right. Dela, your expectations of Jena no
easy. Mempa it's a future mented them. But Bibina we PM Mama kama wada makaka ego a free drinky master one. Now French. But still I still need the 4 doctorate degrees in Portugal.
I just can't say a mouse who can't sing.
Oh, they be ADAKABRI there. I summon about alien in the NDC for one and Wakado Professor Nano Pokajo kita 4 professorship degrees. Na Makano Hana on us, I'm my one. So as I'm on Yamakan, the wow partner no by end.
Okay.
Oh, Okita 4 doctorate degrees. On Pedro Chirahin 4 doctorate degrees.
And Ojitum say, Jena no Poka ni PhD. PhD no Marco do say Dela. That is if you know.
I will read to you.
I know go so okay, my making can messages kakramre.
Whatever it is.
We are mama education be kakra obi why if you give me the chance.
Papa Nkroma, good I say Papa, good afternoon. Okay, this young king can messages soon. I said ADAKABRI, Ghanaians know book, but the same Ghanaians have always misunderstood the word professor. Please, the one who holds a doctorate degree and has taught a long period is called professor. Professor is not a degree. Or they abba.
Or professorship. And I'm saying
that is it.
Please.
Professor is a tenure.
That's it.
Thank
you, Beba. So Obi, or no say a member of parliament to say Obi, I can say Obi or 4 professorship. And I'm saying you can't say that.
I see what making ADAKABRI.
I see 4 professorship.
Messi,
it is never done.
Messi,
when you say that thing, it is only PhD the person can get 1, 2, 3. But professorship you don't get that. And because I won't MP, you don't say that. Because kind of exactly what I
you know how to talk. Stop it. That's how you are. Stop. Be a pedestrian. Be a MP. So what? I also a teacher, but I want to stop it, Pocho. ADAKABRI. American. Like America said, ADAKABRI isn't for you. America said, like America said, Makade. Like America said, Makade. The men were in a session, NDC Fubinum. NDC Fubinum Walker. And no, I mean, my one because I said this. But the men NDC Fubinum. That's what I said.
Okay, as a matter of fact, Jena no Puku Ajima has 1 doctorate in philosophy.
Thank you.
Okay.
Education.
There are others.
That is honorary.
I'll prove to you. There are
No,
others.
like-
I'm looking for it. Oh,
Now,
what is
professorship.
Kiki? How Kiki is seeing?
Abaka be gigi na maye. Awu ne isu jesu. Kasa. Asa kasa.
Professorship is a tenure. So, you bet me I be a
Aye,
professor.
aye, right.
I will have say,
Crap,
you bet me for another university. So,
Thank you.
Or some name on the a year doctorate in India, a year 1 degree, the doctorate in philosophy.
Also a bachelor form, but you want doctorate for ni na.
If you are the tenure as professor, no person worker. Maybe or a professor or UST or a professor.
Adakabri Potoman kasa man. Also kita doctorate degrees for. Obaka ni na we from station do. Inde. Also on money. Also a teacher on money. MP Magban. Man say hen for ni na. Oh, I message say hen. Pepe na mushia.
Also what?
Okay.
What kind of behavior is this?
Yes, it's the hand. My then.
Oh, Mammy Kinka messages. Della Gusu.
Can't lose Jay.
More discussion about. Let him go ahead.
Until a year, I know what the act builder. Or say, if the so-called leaders of political party can come and sit on radio, insult each other, what do you expect the food soldiers and serial killers like me and others to do? And or they buy. Also, good afternoon, ADAKABRI. I think NDC have lost their hierarchy and they cannot see a woman as their running mate as a yardstick to unseat Nanado. We were having Prof as presidential candidate before Professor Mills, Professor Dubois. Tell Honorable Evis Morris Donko that AAK knows only one person, and that person is him. We won't allow anyone who claims to be a resident at Abakrampa but decided to use 16 regional chiefs for his Thanksgiving when giving the opposition as deputy communications minister. Evans, Asemase, Abanka, come on, Abakrampa. Hey, Asempa na SCA, you need to do a frame kaba. Man, a frame kaba. Asembe kred. Na messages no. I say former are we ready? I didn't want him. What would they? Honorable, so I ready.
Oh, Mankasa, amazing.
ADAKABRI, I'm reading my menu, the credentials in Chiro. The discussion is the way. And first and foremost, Menya Womua will be the cassette.
Credentials.
Under normal circumstances, so on no can just say, catch Rayana and say I can. Come in yet, but under normal circumstances, I think say he has thrown a challenge. It's my name.
Okay.
My menu, Oceani recognition and awards and honors. Fulbright Senior Scholar, 1993-94. Fellow, Institute for Advanced Study and Research.
A professor Nana
into the African Humanities West. Pardon me?
A professor Nana walking.
Professor Bain.
Now, I didn't have to catch a also sit on the money buffon.
Oh, there was a mamma.
Baby. Who person what they say?
Okay, the four
credentials the name.
Absolutely.
But the 4 doctorate degrees on ADAKABRI.
I feel they professor doctorate.
Oh, no, not doctorate. As if professors on to them, but 4 doctorates in.
I'm reading show it. That's it.
Also 4 doctorate.
Oh, I didn't get it in here. I'm getting it in
Who
here.
near the Lampocho?
It's making a bed.
Eh?
Making a bed.
Can I say? I'm not going to wait.
ADAKABRI, yes, Abrantieni, Doctor of Law, LLD Honors, Xhosa University of the West Indies in 2010. Doctor of Humanities, Humane Letters, LLDD, LDLIT, Honoris Causa, Winston-Salem State University, North Carolina, 2011.
Honorable who?
But you're eating.
Doctor of Mabotu actually
Babotu, Yanya West Indies back, and Yanya North Carolina back.
But on your Henry Bishop.
You could know. It's here
a dozen,
and a bro no.
Pardon me?
A bro for now.
But I'm telling you, sir.
I'm
looking at. Now, Obia, see, ADAKABRI, Obia, ne mama yensa.
You want to know the four?
Oh, I know what you say.
Mama ngwana ADAKABRI. Seriously, we have to catch him here. Messi mama ngwana. As four doctorate.
I don't have me no.
Man across to the Henry. Abai.
Oh, as una wo say oni
Doctor. There be Doctor Pam despite oni ho. Oni ho. No Henry.
It's a program Benny.
And dem yes ye man konne. Kan for ani kire hen.
Okay.
Okay,
Jena no
discuss.
As a matter of fact, I will
discuss.
Say her. One doctorate,
one end doctorate, and over 3 honorary doctorates.
Thank you.
Yes.
No. Me and Sunny
Henry.
So if you are honorary, you have 4 degrees.
Back
The person has been honored. You can use the titles. Is that what it is? You can use it saying.
You.
Mama example. Yambra.
National Accreditation Board. Jamansi.
Yambra. Hade. Offer. Despite for owner. So honorary doctorate degree. Or use it. Why can't you use it? Your friend doctor. Yes.
Hey. I know. Here doctor so. So I said I'm panel can. About 100 doctorate. Oh, yeah, Tiado. I will Tiado.
Okay. Mamma ko break kakramra. Why?
Ejaba boni di adwa ma wubi eti ya menu afa hin na mahwie fufuo ti ase dada menya wofo yi papa so ba fie ni anwie fufuo ya asam aba na so oben wadi fufuo edi mpreni ne mpresa da ko beye de ni ahwie fufuo a akode wonwane
adwa mo adwuma se me ni fie adwuma di mini fufuo kakra ba o medie no eno to metwa mada pasa aso wo kan na matire nyira
wati ate na make am meboa
ebo de odi komum na sese ade obra to otwa fufuo ai won wodwo pam na wo ma siu na wotimu aba na wo sadade na wo temfra kwada ne nyina tuatwa make say ya need food sadaroma wo bia mani ye pa ya wa ya mbode fufuo ne mankan fufuo a wine powder wo de gu da kam kama ya yefra no need fufuo a
eni anu bi na masori ba antilizi kama me di ye yo
sese bia
mama hwe bia need fufuo eye kama say bode fufuo ne mankan fufuo papa bi na wo kan say twan eposim na ede na me so kan so ento simanu mpɛ no wawie no ahwie wo kwa papa bi agu so
be chese de ama mani kura agisa ne fufuo a mama ko to bi kura ba ne say se de Ghana for sipom fufuo no eno an wo ye nu enti se wo hwa fufuo won pam wodrom ne we nu a wo ho susuna bi awom wo nso de bode ne mankan fufuo papa bi
ejanie eni afi na fufuo na afi na wo bedi pa ne se de wo bedi ne se ne wo fa mojaduro ana pawia ne anadwo a wo koda
ne fufuo a supermarket bi am ne fufuo a e wo fi a eni gye nko a
FDA ahwehwɛ sɛ adwadie nkratoe mu agye atom sɛ ɛyɛ
efiewura me mo achi o fiewura yeson
machi o efiewura mechia wonye so
hey ewura enfase ma me so what e ba force search me mo yam no
won so pepe
hey oh wa fi we die me pese oni fiewura bekon efiewura we die ye kwa sori abo ewurade mo kwa sori ye pompaye ewurade ka soro ho a what e be se wo ba hwa wa kraba kompo wunya onipa da sane timi koto this way chocolate drink no ne yire ne mma edi nsuohie twabia nom anopa no owie a wasade bia hye fridge mu wo mako school pon a wasan ba be yia nom enu mpore se ne nka ne twaso mu pa ende ye rekore ne fie wura beti ha anopa dio awia dio enumre dia mo no makoda o mo mame na mu wi a ma sora akotra so ndem se ye kosum ya
Mesi na dia ya late nso me yanke kabinje efiera ya wi ya kwasere body fate ke efiera ruti fia say light bill no water bill ba wuntua bi wo bo asa sika na fa koto this way chocolate drink na ba nom
ta hwe me catch you play nya play fa say this way chocolate drink no metumi ato bi pa na so na me so mo ahwe wate e de me hia ne nsuohie na nsuohie so me ntoi say me bufu a betumi ato bag mu a wate ye fiewura we nko ade ma abunfu me koto me
fiewura fi de ya bre ma abunfu bi
munyam sumponie na mo ba ya trimodefo
FDA ahwehwɛ sɛ adwadie nkratoe mu agye atom sɛ ɛyɛ
NIT 100.9 FM so any na ene Monday July 27 2020 and time just about 3:15 na you move on na yemra me say president are easy restrictions na there's one area I was say ye twa adwene si so The yen can say 32,437 persons and a year infected with the coronavirus, with 28,927 recoveries, and then 161 deaths. And there was something President of the Republic, the obscure active cases, active cases of just 3,510. And no one can be reassuring, a dear and a bunty ya obscure, active cases, There are.
I'm say, ADAKABRI, coronavirus, by I say, pity a shassino. Dear Grossa, and I reality at sea. A fine, a quanya ye fast swap, ye chadian. Embassy and ne I lifted lockdowns, any restrictions. Eddie kind. Yare ba ya, yare ni taban. Enti aya akwantufuo ene de ba. Yare ba ya ne ye kase yare aba. Enti ye hwe hu yi. Sa time na ban mu mpayifo etu kwan wa bra ye ntu ye borders. Kenya for to wo border almost 1 month. And sana ye betu ye dim. Ema yare ne ba ye ne atise Nigeria nya bi. Togo nya bi. Wen manya bi. When many be, and Yantu about the more, Yantu about the Muyemwa. Make I say Ras Mubarak, member of parliament, a babonti be catch it bang. Say, Mua mutu to quine no muka mamonino, baby a mo call any be ho. And it's a mo cock, not a mo bar, mo may yet mo test and son mo romine. Ye muano and a yarene babasi. Yarene babasi, pepe. I say. Abayemu enam bronya ho ewe nkokọ yare biaba yamfa yare ne hundidi ne ndi Ghana fo sika nse no kwa enti ye ba bonten se ye be man krofo aduane ne mam enne me no kase ye see are spending 540 billion all Ghana cedis billion bako 540 ye de mediane pe aduane no aye ma no enye nkran efabi kasoa
aduane nya bi di
efabi ena kumasi efabi se menye vulnerable ADAKABRI wa se ma obi sei aduane no amoso mo de ma vulnerables ana wo unya bi di unya bi on omo de aduane ma vulnerables. Enti womu a womu ni bia womu die ene edi aduane ma womu. Enti nkre ha enye obi hampo ne nya bie. Yani na mu na bia yakobia abeka la pasa. Na womu ho ne yatoto aduane bia ma womu kọ. Ya ne aduane ndeda e wo polythene bag mu ne ye de che. Ebi wo ha dokono. Ene nchenam. Ebi wo ha emu. Ebi wo ha kokodo brodo. Ye wie ya aban mu mpayifo say ye spending 540 billion and ye di ma aduane nko a krono boy ni etosu mienu wo fa ne nim say aban mu mpayifo be show leadership in fighting coronavirus wo fa say me minister na me nya bia ese metumi ba bondente ferry to nchen ka kire Ghana fo nyina se menya yare ni bi me keep people from the society for some time bi and I say me call isolation and quarantine Ghana for yen hwe ho yi and to ba sha Boris Yeltsin Prime Minister of UK e da onye bie eya doctors na be kan he Boris Johnson yeah on one ba bondente be chiro gu the table they ba chiro gu the so onye bi Abrantie fefefe bi yejuma wo your friend is saying multimedia Joy FM the friend Gary Al Smith I don't know whether the name is pronunciation
you are right
Abrantie ne ba bontene say wa bra na minister say nya covid ni edi sie die nti na so di sie you minister die unya yare bia die nti na so di sie eso wo kan kire Ghana fo na Ghana fo de ehu eboy ho ban se Ghana fo we nya bi we mpanyifo we mponya bi a na nipa ko no suro no di suro no di akora no ye wo ministers omunya yare ni bia wo mu di sie omo mpese ye beti se wo manya bi na ebinom de chiche yani namadom e de ho frafra dom de yare na che wa bra onim se wa test positive a wonya yare ni bi no ne nam no chiche yare enso Abrantia make Gary Al Smith, a journalist. Me you sure say Abrantia we di be 38 years impo. Now Abrantia no show leadership say ba bontene. Ka kire Ghana for nyina wanya bi. Na on go through treatment. We were granting interview. Leadership by example by that young man. Yeah, there your minister of Minister of Health. Ekokoda hospital ho. Akoda hospital one a journalist win ye bisa ne say Mr. Ajima Menu honorable dear na wo ye hospital ha yare aba wo de wo gya wo fie oba bedai o se ogina ho oba ho so ba be relax wantumi anka nkire ye say wonya yare ni bi ama sabi wo mo benya bi ama sabi afa na bi ni wuwo awo yare no anti government lack that leadership government failed to drive us along e debi obi wu ye bia nipa ba ku mienu wuye o man panyine be kasa o say wo mo wuye no they died as a result of underlying conditions who can say underlying conditions they say enya covid na ekunu o yare bi no wo na covid be chi no wawu nanso adakabra obi enim se me wo hey se me wo TB anasa diabetes na se me nya malaria na malaria no kumia yen kasa TB ne kumie anasa diabetes ne kumie because malaria kunu
okay yankle bibi kakra bi sisi ade o kan asema na ja check problem did you say Kenya etro no bodem no 1 month later and sana yeso yeto ye bodem
yes almost. I yes
so between 17th May and 31st May would you say
I wouldn't be able to recollect exactly
but if Kenya etro no bodem 17th May and Ghana so tumu 31st May would it make it 1 month
if was it date here then the end to what date 17th of what
2 the woman say yeah general in your approach if you do not even record a date ben Kenya to no bodem na date ben Ghana to no
I wouldn't be able to correct it
until kaisa na de ya menka
this one doesn't
but
in any case it doesn't in any case adakabre obi enim say Kenya to one bodem 2 or 3 weeks before ours anya no correct
after 2-3 weeks
anya no correct
and 2 days
anya no correct so it doesn't matter
1 month if
it doesn't matter 2 weeks or 3 weeks everybody knows so much Togo enya yare ni be first recorded and sana it took us about 2 weeks and sana ebenya be meboa and ne Togo the number am say omeyu omundru 1000 the whole country Togo omo yare no omunya omudru be ye na mahe and I'm 32000 Togo enya nya 1000 ye ko Togo nya 1000 me you sure because as at last week when I checked there were around 700 and something and
I didn't tell you say active case no so na ye share a total number no when in fact recoveries no so no higher
me da say adakabre recovery ya higher nanso obi onya yare no tumi sanya biom e na wonya yare no
it di enter ya na active case yen tank no once
me be dey kaka active case
because in 32,000 nya bi in 28,000 so I recover I na won subtract enka 3,000
see so obi enya yare no bi enu hia me sin say ye beka active cases and what the o nipa hin na ewu e na nipa hin na nya bi e na hia me
na wo mo ho ato wo mo de hia ho
e na hia me wo mo so nya bi a wo mo ato mo so ye na nyame ase
but then I didn't know there be
yentia me fi say wo mo nya bi a wo mo ato mo no is enya yi say politician you use that one to encourage people say after all do you understand what I'm saying enya hu sa and I make say me fi say yen jai sa no wo ye ne sa nipa nsuro yare no ye de be fro ye ho I don't know whether you understand me I am coming from a caution position say we should be cautious say nipa ten enya bi nipa na ohwo ato wo mo wo ye ne sa obi nsuro bi o adakabese ro ka mo obi nsuro Enti obe so obi aye de ope. No smart no boy enhye. Enti but look at nipa 32,000 ye bia. Say ayare na den aben ye.
And 28,000 so ho ato wo.
Well,
Na just when your GDS says ade no kra no, utoto no ma yie a, unya bia ho betimi ato.
That's it. That one I work on. Say oh, ye ho unya bia ho beto.
Na de da bia ye pass ye ka eye wo mo anya bi 32,000 but ye pass ye ka recoveries no enka active.
Utie me am explain the reason why I make feel say it is important so we let people be cautious about the fact say you don't joke with the disease. You don't wait and go and get it and then come and tell me say you have recovered. People have gotten it and have died. What if you don't survive? What if you don't survive? What if you don't survive? And so basically we need to be cautious. Enti ADAKABRI yare ba ye aban mu mpanyifo afa ho de di omani nya bebre. Aban afa so de nya bebre ne esika sem de said ye wo mo ye no. Aye nwanwa say ye ti o memu. Na oban mpanyifo be ka kire say ye di 3 weeks pe eche aduane ma wo mo a wo mu ni bie. Ye che wo mu ni bie ne wie ye no ye spend 540 billion. Sa na tie dia se ofa population in those areas no a na tete ba da breke eduane a ye de ma nkwala no and ye de ma nipa ye de ma wo no say eduane ba ko over 600 when you divide the money by the population estimated population aden boni ben ya ye say am no ka say one of the reasons are andra o man pay kasai o say you to me for taxi say tro nipa and 9 to me or say miensa etumi for ADAKABRI yemfa sa big buses no a efi ashama ekotema ashama bankran ana say efi tema e bankran efi akra eko kasoa na wokọ nipa 5 ena ti echire ADAKABRI ya twere sa nipa enum na te bus yi na chire na yenim sese wo humigi ni egu nipa so a nipa tuminya yare no na bus nipa 4 5 ye ti echire na ye di 2 kwan by 2 hours and 3 hour journey. Yes, ya left restrictions. But so ye ne sa. And ne one way ko full car nyina se wo mo hwe o mo hunu yi. And anka se betumi anka GPR for ye hu bibi. O man pay de wa ka say oh ye tumi ko full car, ye tumi ye de pe bia. Na nso ehu. Se wo ko full trotro na nipa trotro, nipa 9 anase nipa miensa mo tie chire. Na mo bo ho yade ne beti akese enne nipa 840 na nya bi daily 840 a day but ayese de make nyina ne se ayese ye di agrobi ayese ye di agrobi ayese emfa ye hu bi ayese emfa ye hu bi na nsenya na ma nkwala e wo fi a sebi ebinim de omu nya ebi se obi enim esi wo mo mesi nko school nko choro wo mudi enkwala ne fi wo mo fie ba school mu se ye be choro wo mudi wa bra ye nim se enkwala betima tena fie a choro wo mudi nso you risk the children, we endanger the life of the children by asking them to come to the schools. Today they are in schools and we are recording figures in schools. We want to endanger the life of 14, 16, 17, 18, 19-year-old children. And then in Kuala school, simply because he ain't got through. Me no say in Kuala through exams. One more binu, they are kept at isolation center and they do papers you call come on. And see Akwala when you coronavirus. Ne yaw not. Ne de integrated science I got to name so no all true. You have placed that child in a disadvantaged position. Because say no one turn no the true you know. Now one day when him say oyare COVID. No tina paper nso ochro. Ye di nyoma diagro wo memu hase. I mean, can't say, abandon Kuala school, ne see, and can buy baby abwa. What for ye? Ye nim say in schools in your infirmary. You were a dank to a beer, ye did empaba kum you know, sewer in Kuala Yare, do Mokoto. Nay, a friend woman for say, ye may find Kuala Nunco. In Kuala Yare, ye fra Kuala no say, my mammy, no, my baby Fakaraco family. Who come family who are dear one gauze, junction violet, paracetamol. First aid, and I said, over the counter drugs, and you use one. And he said, Abai can send Kuala Nko school. They came him say, Sabina man Kuala Nko school, dear. And the government would have assigned one nurse, registered nurse, in every school. Seka, Abai my nurse in Ibakope, our school BM. Nano school nurse in manage the infirmary. And it's a Kuala Yaria. You say, I will phone teacher for new coins ever for our for, and my woman. Teacher need now a quite. I guess a headmaster pet. Teacher need be also be free akwala na wo for. Teacher for our headmaster pet bit my yesa. Enti akwala ne yare ne de no call no family ho a. Na nurse ni papa wo ho a. Na nka nurse ni na frɛ na wo for. Se bra be hwe oba. Enti wo hwe de esi wo KNUST SHS no a. Na teacher for ho. Wo mu suro se yare na nya akwala no. Wo mu gina ho. Obi ntumi mfra akwala ne ma me se oba no the situation ye no pacho paka bra na be fa akwala no ko obi ntumi nya sa esa se emra wo ho a enya se wo yesa ye gina ho to school fu a wo mu nim mra bia no e no mo se ye risk e no mo ko so abrantie no mu hwehwe no mu akosi se ye be fa no ko he ko ya abrantie no wu ye sebe e bi mpo na nya yare no bi de ku no enti wafa ya na ye wo a committee a wo mu go around the schools. What's it? I will phone to me in school on Koshen Kwalano. Yet, yes, I will phone to me. Eh? Now, so, and every district be, I think, a team in the district. And the young man said, Madina and Tema, and also Shama. Now, you were a committee of about 5-6 people. One no go school every morning. Now, I'm going to say, and I say every week I'm visit school. Now, will be a woman friend region, a craft one, and as a national force. There is some situation in Ashama Secondary School that deserve immediate attention. Now, a choir first one, into your original team, and as a national team. Now, you are over 740 something secondary schools across the country. The regional team, can you tour the whole schools? No. Into the one district team, Mama Monitan Colano. Now, dear Yare walk a crack. And it's a buy afa. I am on penny Gina Sa COVID so. I dare campaign baby. Edikai. I say July, one will see 88 hospitals, regional hospitals. Constituencies are not said this is the money be over maybe. I'm say Akabaya and Nabami and South and then night. Nabosumen was hospital no more cancer more year campaign. Being omunyansi bi o man panyina ba bontene se ensuo no ananka ye bu no free ye bu o de maye a ono atwe saye no o ye ni free anka eye o man panyina adan nti na wo twe saye busumi mienu ansa na wo sade aba bio campaign nti na wo yesa no ana because what they are there by in April May June. And I watch your sign, yeah. Said there be your chair sign, your chum. And I was signed the baby. And to ye be said, on my penny campaign, now, oh, ye, say, oh, Pessy and Twaba Mounty, and I will hear your ye, and I say, COVID in Tina, the Ariaba. As I say, Ariana, baby, and Namo. First, no, I ran a number in Kitchen Crown. Oh, my insurance. Now, electricity, you know, as Rekakra. I'm saying, if my understanding is right. Say Oshie Obia who use electricity or electricity. Ebro 19 Ghana cedis and one count knife line. 19 Ghana cedis. ADAKABRI a fear ben your war Ghana has here. I just said you Caribbean sipa. Obeka say Obi a chrome highway. Obi use electricity. But so many nano on a light or use no do on your 20 cities. A whole house. Woman your 20 Ghana cedis. And it's our benefit here. I just say, we light bill no, less than 20 Ghana cedis, and son when you say lifeline. No, and I buy some more cocaine or they chill for yenny free. I just say, who you should below 20 Ghana cedis, and son when you're free. Let us say, and also, or the croc the Joanna. The best rap buying in penny for.
Okay.
The municipal, the best you are buying in penny for.
The light them and Utin and Kane. Representing the views of MP, NDC, as the opposing party. Honorable Member of Parliament for Asebu Kwamankese, Abra Asebu Kwamankese, Ura Morris Elvis Donko. Ma yenti wonsoso wonsema de ba say adan na ese dan nyina no ye ka number of affected persons case count but I say ya overlooking active cases.
Adakabri medase but Adakabri I'm waiting because obi kra send a message also pedo who 4 doctorate degrees in Pontipocho answer the be fia kon Mpocho waiting for na wo hu ye maame na
one and PhD and over 3 honorary ones.
No Adakabri is I will never come.
Okay, so I assume say even what you say that is it.
Okay.
Also, a pedestrian was
Jitum. Jitum. Jitum na yankwe. Akasa mankabi. Bampede honorable thing de bejatum de mekan onya no kware na eto but Adakabri bibia yezi e politics. Bibiara. Yare boru kunimpa. What's your NDC MPP? Yeah, me say NDC one communication for no kware. UTV. Na some CCTV no do kan yi there. Oda nyame ase there. Yare ban MPP mpemfo nkotin na orka hwan. Na Adakabri mumbezini wa ha. Mumbe bakoro kan ni zina.
I mean or rather. Kade wo pese oka.
Ase
Provoked by
oda nyame ase there. Yare ban MPP mpemfo nkotin na orka hwan. Na NDC fozie. Nyame na adomara. Yare ban nkan obi akweku ahen. UTV last week. UTV, you can request for the video. Why are you na NDC members ahen na wenye yerba ni bia. Wa baka kire abanu fu nyinara. Da me menye yerba ni bi. Talking of Obini health status. Adakabri onye by force de obi yara obaba abanu wa baka da me yerba ya na me yerba yo. Onye by force. Ghana mbren osi obia wo ho kwan da ni health information and health status ozibesie nti se minister bi enya covid na wamba ban wamba kan isu ye news na presidential candidate bi enya covid ni bi oba ban ba ka kire Ghana for the enya covid ana. That's a question.
Woni mni bakro
mumbazini wa ha presidential candidates bi enya covid ni bi ana oba ban ba ka kire wiase de wenye covid ni biana
ene na yosre
MPs NDC MPs wenye covid yereba ni bi did they come out to tell the world there wenye yereba ni bi so what is it today that is the because osnobia na hawa ohuni nyama for there are people were HIV positive and they tell the whole world they're HIV positive. There are people when you HIV yerba ni bia oye up to one kase obaka che wiase do obi anade woni bi sa me sem wo covid ni bia it is up to me to tell the world that men yerba ni bia anade menye bi nti se mini se bi enya bi na so amba ban no amba kan na se ze be politics cheap political leadership by example. Mr. Presidential candidate for so wants leadership by example. They should come out and tell the world that they were also positive. They should come out and tell the world. I was very quiet. Presidential candidate. Nenado a presidential candidate. Mahama a presidential candidate. Apollo a presidential candidate. One a presidential candidate. Messi, presidential candidate also tested positive to COVID and should be bold enough to show leadership, manship, to tell the whole world that I'm so me COVID positive. Now, Adakabri, being a COVID positive, what is it? Okay? There are so many thousands of Ghanaians. When you because also malaria, only malaria, but Ghanaian cases, they be able to shoot up because of the number of testings we are doing. How many testings in Togo? How many testings in Kenya? As the example, Kenya has 16,000 cases. Do you know the number of deaths? Number of deaths in Kenya, 278. which is more than that of Ghana. 278.
Traumatic condition.
Oh. 278. So when it comes to leadership, we as leaders are going to fight this COVID. ADAKABRI, working can we as president you do. Now the down kwa kufado. Wakamubi. And Japan can leaders in Japan, the leadership of Australia and that of Hong Kong. They were part of world leaders. Now what there what COVID ni. But just last week Hong Kong we lose it because the number of cases so high. Japan we lose it because it's so high. Australia so high. They now down kwa kufado. Ghana here cases. When we are talking about cases, ADAKABRI, we talk about active cases. That you want us to dwell more on the active cases. Active cases in the area, we can. Oh, Abazi.
Go ahead.
Abazi. Active cases.
What is your problem?
Okay, so man,
Easily distracted.
okay, so man, as you phone about to me.
Easily distracted.
As you phone about to me. Like. They be nice girl in the picture no other do was about them. Me who why was the phone about me. Nice girl. Mo nice girl me find them. Mpocho me share nice girl be the phone. Oh, me the phone amo. I want to deceptive since now. Aba snack can say makasa mezi. I wash us there kasa. ADAKABRI, what is more important is the number of active cases we have in Ghana. The number of deaths. Say Ghana nyinara so bibi akwa pa nya yereba ni bi. Na say obi enwi a. We've really managed very well. And to honor now, ADAKABRI, Yereka. So what I'm saying is, ADAKABRI, propaganda there, he was a student at Kogu school, nurse in a new school. Minimum school, but there are schools that are there are nurses at the school, at the sick bay. I'm Muslim, agree. We have a nurse at what's in a home. My school is in. ADAKABRI find out. Oh, just keep quiet and let me talk. I will need Akoshi. Elvis. As there's no ABM okay district team.
Oh, control over what? I didn't want to control.
Mr. Agreement, there's a nurse at the school.
And how? I don't say when I was a obwa.
No, I don't say when I want to do. I look at
I don't
say when I want
ABM. Us there's no district monitoring team biara. ADAKABRI, every district has a COVID response management team. Every district has a, because the district they don't only look at only educational, they look at the district in general. Once the school is in the district, there is an oversight responsibility of people. Watch the school. So also, obwa. Ababan was obakabashada work them from Kogu school. Ababan. It's more like ADAKABRI. Point biara enyim. Oh, it's a fuka pon fa nya asam. Iwi a awo bankwafo fa na obubuanyi we say. Honestly, this government lack leadership. Aba. Na do dan kwa akufo Miss girl in the picture mo hwe. Girl in the picture mo hwe nya den. Nice girl in the picture inti mo hwe nya den. Mo hwe nya den.
And president of the republic.
I am on this forum bi. Oh, I am on they been NDC nya send you message. What is it? Come to grounds and listen. ADAKABRI, what I'm saying is I am on this African forum bi. Look at the world. Look at how African nations are praising our government.
Now, presidential candidate Ben in COVID in be.
ADAKABRI Mr. Mumbazi how?
Oh, but the president he went on isolation. And why not put you be a wanker?
Oh, I mean, my president is he went on quarantine. No statement is a share one isolation. What isolation that means then you're going to be was okay. But quarantine, you've come into contact with to be when you're going to be, so you are quarantining yourself. For a into ADAKABRI, what I'm saying is the whole Africa for Rumbiamwadu, they are praising Nana Adudan Akufo-Addo. They are praising Nana Adudan over Apu to Mahama, not Akufo-Addo.
Over what?
over how we are managing COVID. If you are saying Apu, tell it to Mahama, not Akufado. 32,000.
Really? Comparatively, leadership skill.
America ya hen, UK ya hen, Spain ya hen, all those countries were ya hen. America, they are in millions of cases. So if you come to talk, Mahama not in a way doing, oh, sir, I'm telling you. Where is his leadership skills? ADAKABRI. We are missing. Nyankopon name wonyen bibia kekewo. Ghana fo say yer bompaya.
Just say yare we bebenjina nyama na Dubai.
Because there was no way. And call them Hammer. Obey the president for Ghana.
Okay.
Nyankopon on tidam no nyawo. Messi say ex-president Mahama not in a way. But what I'm saying is, it takes leadership. Onyo obia odode kuanu. We are talking about leadership. ADAKABRI, incentives are abani. As I say, African countries what we are doing, they are not doing it. Now the Danko Akufo-Addo no in the cabinet. Why you know when the COVID this time, people will lose their jobs. So we need to do something to support these people. So what are we doing? Now the Danko Akufo-Addo also or this a button 150 million Ghana cedis. Was the year why the insurance be at war? The award ADAKABRI say it be a true them year be. Let's say lose wage. You have something to fall on. But that is not going to be for free. That is not, but at least Bibia Obu Sounfi. Mawankasa Ashi Bibia say. This is what we call leadership. He talked about water bill. Now what an ADAKABRI April, May, June. July ne me president 1 year name bezun komo 1 extend them water in. Na so say August. Na so na menu free bioma. What are you talking about? And this vonye bibi anka bioma.
Me musane. What are you talking about?
Oh, no, he spent like a year.
What are you talking about?
Asema make nyina ne say omampanyin ne my 3 months. Ewie no wakwa da so ho da ye say na memwo nkoyi.
Ye plan ye.
Enti ode wasa the water by free na ba na so o check kerosene. See. Mun ka na do o check kerosene kuro be lusu sa ye. O pa o check kerosene free. Kerosene. You lose.
Metin na wase.
Metin wasa go fa ba no a. Na fo nya mfaso a ye nya kakra di.
Oh dey be NDC nyi bottle ama no bottle. NDC run to mana. I would because the light bill, water bill crap say now the Danko Akufo-Addo say be wechi. Or this so crap na you still vote against him. Into one crap is 20. Was light bill no water bill was sana. Still about 20 now at the Danko Akufo-Addo. If you have the means to pay, that doesn't mean that other people have no means of means of paying. Aban is aba. Say MP nese bosun bia so be kutua water bill and light bill. And praise the Lord. But you have to work. But in she say what but there was Bobwa only before Yerbenti won't to one comba. What but there because of Yerbenti, you been yet few more. You use water more, you use light bill more. And see Sabi so tum kofuma, young Baharian. On your water bill and light bill continue. It's a on your water. No, light bill continue. Communication tax from 9% ADAKABRI, you took 5%. This means there from August,
how much money would that put in people's pocket in Sunni Kanian and communication service tax?
ADAKABRI water bill, people were paying water bill a month of 500 cedis, 700 cedis.
Yeah, no.
And there, so won't your water bill be ma? Can I come on?
One, and no so 500, 700.
ADAKABRI. Compound house binum. A pair way free to all.
I said
a
family. Talk about family. There be a family of Obanu and Obanu. I would
even if there are 20 cedis a month. Ebe, or you're being chop money.
Okay.
Bosum.
In a way, 540 billion.
ADAKABRI. So what we are saying is the leadership of Nana Danko Akufo-Addo. Nende. was the Obiara Bonabado Wiase. Obiara Bonabado.
Ebe turn into electoral advantage, Anna.
Ebe, Nessa to tune the mayor on your vote in Otomo. Ebe, set to tune the mayor.
One good term
deserves and not ADAKABRI. It was swag. Ebe, Nessa Eria Yamaya. Eria Yamaya. Ebe, whether COVID politics, whether Mahama politics, whether Airbus politics, whether Wana politics, may me mind the gun for one way. Free education, call Ben a COVID on bay. At the end of every term, Nessa Mammy be Papa B, so as in the 500 Ghana cities, Kutuma. President Romu be. Messi, the way a warrior one your name, the way in this warrior one your man. If you are blue about the way Zakusha will be want to be the way warrior one your man. Ghana for one thing and can be a moon. And canon a echo crubima, was when the Indies for Indies are near, but in the way to in the Ghana for I saw what would say some. In the Ghana for we know what was in the Ghana for one now what
deserves another. What are your thoughts?
That's it, the break.
Oh, but you just one get the MP mainland
comment.
As national
MP cry MP.
As national
hubu. Abakampa for what you.
As national hubu. As national hubu.
Elvis.
As national hubu.
Elvis Abakampa for what you.
As national hubu. Oh, Mr. Abakampa as no to Muabo. Abakampa no, but member of parliament. Do you know why? Do you know why Abakampa Peno Muabo? Oh, do you know why Abakampa Peno Muabo? Because one candidate
Abakampa for
you. Man on you baby Anfan. Abakampa for you. Missing. Missing that woman from politics in welcome. Don't watch childish politics in welcome. Childish politics. I don't make Abakampa for Hoba match on him away.
One good term deserves another. What are your thoughts?
ADAKABRI, it does celebrate. ADAKABRI, me wafa ya menu ye juma wa Unibank. Na the salary at 3,500. And OG.
Mismanagement by Mahama. Free license.
And I buy bonnet buy. I buy on gin nipa. I buy. And or they are pre minim. To know. Edu bank no. O go bank ni wie ya. Ya menu aba betrefia onye juma. Into 3,500 no a. Go to share the light bill, water bill no. Abono. Kwesi the sika koto men's gold. The sika ye 20,000. Onya ho profit dididi kakra. Ene nanado baye. Nanado baye o di tuno megunu egu men's gold.
You see endorsing illegalities. Endorsing illegalities.
Oh, abanda ezu hunyi gamia.
I
mean, oh, the classic na bet na kan. Obike bibia na yesha na hoba. Ye dem classic asa. Oh, go. Obike bibia yesha na hoba. Make us okasa me na hoba. Amin zimu hunyi. Awu hinzi awu hinzi wanu na wakasa hunyi pedie no hunyi. Awu hinzi wanu na hunyi pedie no hunyi. Oh, stop. Ade bia baby bokobia hoba. Oh, Fioko, Marian, a penny will be movie. Say a penny now. Say a penny. Who's a American? Bonus, I'm going to I saw the best show be a hoba. Who are you? Oh, Chonko, Mamma Parliament, me and Padao. Me and Pada talk now. Speak English Parliament. No, like the monk was some year radio do busy. You need to stop. About the champagne for baby Shanko Fauba. But see now, was a best Shanko Fauba. Talking to me, Sean. A boy into me, Sean Quapo, a best will be a hoba. Young question, some of the better back again. I remember. I work as a man Cassabi. I don't remember. A man in you. Make us a Casa. Casa, Necasa, Miss Auba. I'll make him. Don't man the Miss Auba. Baby, Hoba. Who are you? Oh, Chunko. Come here, Jack. Mama, I swear. I don't want me. I don't remember. Oh, come on. I don't remember. Hit here. Dear old cano. I don't know what's about your studio. Who are you? Come on. Oh, Della. Kakasha won on the wager. Come on. A boy. Member Parliament. Me and you pay me. I don't remember. Kakache we busuafo.
Honorable member, Tim Kakrabi.
MP me nyimpa na ya wo. Me nzunu ndo we busuafo. Abuwa ne ba. Masa. Yeah, we talk something now. Abuwa.
Asema me no kanyina.
No, tell him to stop this. Dey be no be shen kwa fa ho ba. Abuwa pi.
Make asem o chuo ese.
Abuwa pi.
Ami abuwa pi.
Honorable member.
Ami abuwa.
Wo ti akonwa so. And constituents are listening to you.
Member of Parliament.
Oh, come on.
Now she paying when this him. Onye do to mbu asam da bia.
And say constituents no omo take us be free one. No matter the provocation, avoid it.
No, or debut. Obetina me ka bibia na o hye ma ho ba.
Dala.
Me ka bibia na hye ma ho ba.
What do you gain?
Me come say.
Unless we be show obi o. Esi shaku fa do num na ho ba na obi anka hwencho. Unless we be show obi. Abuwa ti da wo. Awuja wo tumi shaku fa do ahoro ba. Idiot.
Enti me kabi nche no.
Kabi nche Yapon. Idiot. How dey be expect dey be champagne for who are you? Who are you?
Honorable member Tim.
Awu nyame nyen. Mesa awu nyame nyen. Abuwa.
Tim Kakrabi.
Hey, member of
Parliament. Oh, Fioko. I am proud of my constituency. Abuwa. Kwasi anya wo na we busua from top to down. Idiot.
Please, about 4.
Idiot.
Come on, honorable member.
I mean, do that head. I'm sure to me, couple of
Mr. Brofo, no. Oh, yeah, couple of
okay.
Catch the way we see the way from out to where we see. Talk. Ah, made Jimmy Snow.
Ejaba boni di adwa ma wubi eti ya menu afa hin na mahwie fufuo ti ase dada menya wofo yi papa so ba fie ni anwie fufuo ya asam aba na so oben wadi fufuo di edi mpreni ne mpresa da ko beye de ni ehwie fufuo a akode wonwane
adwa mo adwuma se me ne fie adwuma di mini fufuo kakra ba o medie no eno to metwa mada pasa aso wo kan na matire nyira
wati ate na make am meboa
ebo de odi komum na sese ade obra to otwa fufuo ai won wodwo pam na wo ma siu na wotimu aba na wo sadade na wo temfra kwada ne nyina tuatwa make say ya need food sadaroma wo bia mani ye pa ya wa ya mbode fufuo ne mankan fufuo a wine powder wo de gu da kam kama ya fra no need fufuo a
eni anu bi na masori ba antilizi kama me di ye yo
sese bia
ma me hwe oh bia need fufuo eye kama say bode fufuo ne mankan fufuo papa bi na wo kan say twan eposim na ede na me so kan so ento simanu pe no wa wie wo hie wo kwa papa bi aguso
Bechesa de ama mani kura agisa ni fufufu a ma ko to bi kura ba ne se se de Ghana for si pom fufuo no eno an wo ye nu enti se wo hwa fufuo won pam wodrom ni we nu a wo ho susuna bia wom wo nso de bode ne mankan fufuo papa bi
eje nie eni afi na fufuo na fe na wo bedi pa ne se de wo bedi ne se ne wo fa mojaduro ana pa wi ani anajo a wo koda
ni fufuo a supermarket bia mu ni fufuo a e wo wo fi a eni je nko a
FDA anhwe se adwede nkratoe mo agye atum se eye
efiura me mo chi o fiura yes on
machi o efiera me chia wonye so
hey ewura enfase ma me so what e ba force setia me mo yam no
won so pepe
hey oh wa fi we die me pese oni fiura bekon efiura we die ye kwa sore abo ewurade mo kwa sore ye pompaye ewurade ka soro ho a what e be se wo ba hwa wa kraba kompo wunya onipa da sane timi koto this way chocolate drink no ne yire ne ma edi nsuohie twabia nom anopa no owi a wasade bia hye fridge mu wo mako school pon a wasan ba be yia nom enu mpore se ne nka ne twaso mu pa ende ye rekore ne fie wura bete ha anopa dio awia dio enumre dia mo no makodew mo mame na mu wi a ma sora akotra so ndem se ye kosum ya
Mese na dia ya late nso miyanki kabinje efiera ya wi ya kwasere body fate ke efiera wuti fia se light bill no water bill ba wuntua bi wo boa se sika na fa koto this way chocolate drink na ba nom
ta hwe me catch you play nya play fa say this way chocolate drink no metumi atobi pa na so na me so mo ahwe wate e de me hia ne nsuohie na nsuohie so me ntoi se me bufu a betumi ato bag mu a wate ye fiewura we nko ade ma abunfu me koto
e fiewura fi de ya bre ma abunfu bi
mu nyam sumponie na mo ba ya trimodefo
FDA anhwe se adwede nkratoe mo agye atum se eye
It's cool, fresh and trendy with a new look. Makes you feel real good, that refreshing vibe. Satisfies you right just the way you like. Do you know? Do you know? Do you know? Ain't gotta do it alone. Specialized makes you flow. Anytime, anywhere. Specialized feel different. Always think specialized. Special Ice Natural Mineral Water. Feel different. Think special. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Yamenu! Ejaba boni di adwa ma wubi. Eti yamenu afa hin na mahie fufuo ti ase dada minya wofo yi. Papa so be fie ni enwe fufuo ya. Asam aba. Na so oben. Wadi fufuo edi mpreni ne mpresa da ko. Be ye de ni ehwe fufuo a. Akode wo nwane.
Adwa mo adwuma. Se me ne fie adwuma di mini. Fufuo kakra ba o medie no. Eno to me twa mada pasa. Aso wo kan na matire nyira.
Wati ate na make am meboa.
Ebo de odi common. The sense ya de obra to twa. Fufuo ai wo wadwo pam. Na wo ma siu na wo timu aba. Na wo sadade na wo temfra kwade ne nyina tuatwa make say ya need food sadaroma wo bia mani ye pa ya wa ya mbode fufuo ne mankan fufuo a wa ne powder wo de gu da kam kama ya ya fra no need fufuo a
eni no bi na masori ba until is kama me di ye yo
sese bia
ma me hwe oh e bia need fufuo a eye kama say bode fufuo ne mankan fufuo papa bi na wo ka say twan eposim na ede na me so ka so ento simanu mpɛ no wa wie wo hie wo kwa papa bi aguso
be chese de ama mani kura agisa need fufuo a ho ama ko to bi kura ba ne say se de Ghana fo sipom fufuo no eno an wo ye nu enti se wo hwa fufuo won pam wo drom ne we nu a wo ho susuna bi awom wo nso de bode ne mankan fufuo papa bi
ejanie eni afi na fufuo na afi na wo bedi pa ne se de wo bedi ne se ne wo fa mogyaduro ana pa wia ne anadwo a wo koda
need fufuo a supermarket bi am need fufuo a e wo wo fi a eni gye nko a
FDA ahwehwɛ sɛ adwadie nkratoe mu agye atom sɛ ɛyɛ
Utie oha ekchi ponkno.
Baby biara wo biara. This was